a seat where the light won't reach. Whisper low so it sounds like peace. Lay your head, let the ceiling spin. You don't have to begin again. I've been here where the air goes thin. Saw what happens when you try to win. Better stay where the walls don't move. Nothing left that you have to prove. I don't push, I pull you close till you forget what you wanted most. It's just the way of the world. Down in the dirt where the flowers bloom. It's just the way of the world. You'll feel the power of an empty room. It's just the way of the world. Just wait a moment and we'll start again. You are the enemy of my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. Take my hand, feel the current slow. I can show you what I know. Every spark only burns you out. Every dream just a longer drought. I don't lie, I just dim the flame. Give your hunger another name. Call it calm, call it letting go. Call it all that you'll never know. If you don't rise, you don't fall apart. That's the safest way to break a heart. It's just the way of the world.
Hi, everybody.
In the door where the flowers bloom. It's just the way of
All right.
the world. You'll feel the power
Take it off by a second.
empty room. It's just the way of the world. Just wait a moment and we'll start again. You are the enemy of my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend.
All right, check. Check.
Stay down, stay near, I need you right here. Stay down, stay small, I'm nothing.
Almost up. Hit that like.
It's just the way of the world. That's what I say when you start to move. It's just the way of the world. I need you with something to lose. It's just the way of the world. Don't take a step that I can't defend. You are the enemy.
All right. All right, let's see if we can do this. Hi, welcome to the show, everybody. It's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Thank you, Barbara, for the super chat. That's extra lovely. Appreciate it. Anything you guys could do to help is always welcome. We're here, but for the grace of God, go not I. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, hit that like if you would. Subscribe. I mean, it's and look, I don't ask much, and I don't ask often. All right. I just every so often I just like, hey, maybe you could fucking help out a little bit, like the really little bit, yeah. Like, will you just hit the subscribe, yeah? I mean, I don't know why that's fucking hard, yeah? I know, I've seen the numbers, mate. I've been looking. I've seen the fucking numbers, mate. I know. If you're on Instagram and you're stumbling by, you're like, should I follow this fucker? Yes, you should, fucking hell. Yeah? Go ahead and do it. I know I lose subscribers because I don't get pushed up into the algorithm because I use too many big boy words. but life is too important right now to skip over them. Sorry. It's just the weight I have to bear. I'll do my best not to make too many, to deny my Scottish and Irish heritage and not try to use too many. You're lucky I don't use the most common one. Anyways, your big brains and your smarts. Stuff. Oh, thank you very much. Yay! So, hit the like, share the show, etc., etc. Breaking news: another member of the Trump administration has been kicked to the curb. Um, Lori, the labor secretary, who got the last Epstein protector's job this time around, Lori Chavez de Remer, resigned her position today. She is the third chick in a row. It's interesting, all this shit about Kash Patel and all these others, and just the women get fired. It's interesting. Apparently she's been under investigation for by the internal watchdog on this, but the allegations include claims that Chavez Dremer, a former Oregon congresswoman, drank on the job in her Washington, D.C. office and had an affair with one of her bodyguards. Her senior aides, as well as her husband and father, also came under investigation. They regularly sent personal messages and made personal requests of young staff members in creepy texts. Ugh. Labor get out of here. Labor Department investigating texts among secretary's family and staff. I like the fact that she was knocking boots with her own security detail is way less of a concern than the fact that I guess it was game on over there. I mean, there's difference between doing labor and being on the job, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. All men are the same. Where is it? Her husband exchanged text messages with young female staff members, as did her father. What the fucking? I'm leaving. This is it. Goodbye. All right, I'm back, but I'm not sure for how long because this is just as her dad too. Son of a what the ew. Some of the young women were instructed by Miss Chavez Dremer and their former deputy to pay attention to the men. According to people familiar with the investigation, the text messages have been reviewed by the New York Times. They were gathered as part of a month-long investigation into her leadership of the department, which began with a complaint filed to the Inspector General's office claiming widespread misconduct. Hey, anybody remember who created the Inspector Generals? Anybody remember who did that? Anybody remember who put Inspector Generals in place? Let's see if the chat room can bring it up. What do you think? The chat room. What? Who was it that made Inspector Generals a thing? Who actually brought them? Way too early, guys. Who created the Office of Inspector Generals? Who was that? Nope, Obama did not do that. It was in there before. Gilbert Southern, right here. There you go. The answer is, see if anybody gets it. Carter, water goddess, get it. You got it right out of there. Look at that. Carter did it. That's exactly right. Yet another reason, yet another reason why Republicans hate Jimmy Carter. If there was a single fucking thing besides firing George H.W. Bush as the head of the CIA, which Carter also did. So fuck you who sully his memory. Thank you so much, Angela, for the super chat. Carter, one of the reasons why they shit on him all the time is because he created the Office of Inspector General and made it harder for them until I guess Trump came along to be overtly corrupt. The internal investigation is in its final stages. Very final, because she just fucked off. Hey? Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, say no more, wink, wink. Let's see, after 4 people have been forced out of their jobs, including her chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, director of advance, and a member of her security detail with whom she was accused of, how can I put this quietly? I think that was, I don't know if that describes it like, I think they were like going, like that. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, and in April 2025, see, I don't understand why I'm not on CNN more. In April 2025 exchange provided to investigators, Ms. Chavez de Remer's father, Richard Chavez, wrote to a young female staff member, "Hearing you are in town, wishing you would let me know. I could have made some excuses to get out and show you around. Please keep this private." The staff member responded, "Will do, no need to worry." She apologized for not reaching out, said she would be back in Oregon soon. When are you leaving? Where are you staying? He responded. Ms. Chavez has not been accused of wrongdoing. Well, fucking somebody in your security detail is clearly wrongdoing. I mean, you might be doing it right, but you're still doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, representatives of her and her husband did not immediately provide comment. I'm shocked, as are you. A few weeks later, the same staff member messaged Ms. Chavez de Remer's husband, Sean de Remer, and apologized for not being in touch. "I've been so much having fun traveling with LCD and being in the moment for everything. I promise from now on I'll check in." He responded, "You better. I was feeling forgotten. I figured you were still in church repenting after your exposure to the demon state of Oregon." Now, I don't know if that's him bragging about the naughty bit shit that they did, or just how I guess how awful Oregon is, maybe? Hold on one second.
Goodbye, Portland. You twisted now.
Yeah, man.
Where's the heart?
Bro,
Where's the gal?
that's right. Nobody knows. I think he was talking about him and her dancing on his naughty bits, but it could just be that they all hate the state they're from. Yeah. All right. In one text message, wait, check this out. In one text message, Miss Chavez de Remer, Mrs. Does she have a husband? Mrs. Right? Or does she go by Miss just to be because it's her ex-husband? Does he work with her? Did they get a divorce just so they could fuck around with the staff? No. Anyways, asked a staff member to bring rosé to her room. "Do they sell by the bottle?" she asked. The staff member said they did, but were out of rosé. "How about the Josh Sauvignon? That would be a Sauvignon Blanc, I'm assuming, unless they were bringing her steak sauce." The messages were undated, but a picture of the menu in the text message exchange suggests it's from the hotel in Myrtle Beach, where she was officially visiting last July. Just before 3 on Friday, September 5th, her deputy chief of staff told one of the women to pick up a bottle of or two of wine or champagne. It doesn't matter what it tastes like, it's all there to do the same job. Lori wants to do a toast when this meeting is over. Oh boy, does she. So, I don't know how many toasts sound like. But yeah, so she's out. She's gone. She's out of there. Gone. See ya later. And so that is that is the third woman to be fired from the Trump um are they administering anything? Can we call it an administration? The loose organization of sycophants that is currently occupying the White House. It's a little clunky. I'll work on it. Um, Meanwhile, you know what? I've been such a naysayer about all this thing, and I know, crazy me, that I'm assuming that the talks that aren't happening aren't going well, and that the team that just flew out to talk tomorrow for the thing that was supposed to be signed tonight isn't going to go well, and that we're basically going to be back on a war footing tomorrow, according to both Trump's truth sinkhole posts and what the Iranians are saying. I know. I'm always such a nervous Nancy, and I'm always so negative. But it's according to Jesse Waters, babe, this looks like it's over. Looks like we made it till the end and we're fucking off. Yeah. Trump, Iran agreed to everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hal, clearly, this is not true. Okay, yeah, I agree. But let's enjoy, if we could, Captain Eyebrows over there getting way out over his fucking skis and telling everybody how this is totally awesome and it's gonna work, and you were a loser if you didn't believe it.
The president says Iran's agreed to everything and a deal.
By the way, hold on, back up here.
Fox News alert, looks like it's over. The president
Yep, done.
says Iran's agreed to everything.
Everything, man.
And a deal could come this weekend. It could.
It did not come this weekend. It did not. It was, they had some, they had some back and forth, but apparently it was, the talks went, it's
Not good.
that's what I was looking for. There we go.
Even happen tonight.
Getting along well, but who knows?
Yeah, that sounds like somebody who's reviewed the terms of an unconditional surrender and has already signed his part of it.
Who knows with anyone, but who knows with Iran in particular? This process should go very quickly, and that most of the points
Should is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
are already negotiated and agreed to.
No, they are not. I can't think of a single one. Oh, thank you so much, Martin, for that.
You'll be very happy.
According to the president, the mullahs have signed off on suspending their nuclear program forever.
No, they didn't. Is there a gullibility watch that someone can be put on, like a 72-hour psych hold?
If that's true, it's huge.
Yeah, it's not. So,
You know what that means.
yeah, you're a gullible dipshit.
The Iranians have agreed to zero enrichment.
Oh, that's what I see. So I thought when they get rid of the, kind of like obliteration means it's all gone, but it doesn't. Okay.
That might be the last midnight hammer we'll ever see.
Why not? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anything. Yeah, just assume. Yeah, it's that is our position as it was, whatever. Tuna colada.
The president says we're going to grab a shovel. The Iranians are going to grab a shovel, and we're going to dig it out together.
Yeah, that didn't on its own sound so fucking insane that it couldn't possibly be true. You fucking chimp.
And somebody said, how are we going to get the nuclear dust? We're going to get it by going in with Iran, with lots of excavators, because the B-2s, remember when fake news CNN said, well, maybe obliteration is too strong a word. Obliteration. That's so deep. We need the biggest excavators you can imagine, but we're going to go in together with Iran. We're going to get it, and we're going to take it back home to the U.S.
Why, if it's been obliterated and it's under so much ground that you have to fly in excavators big enough? Maybe don't bring the excavators in, dipshit. Maybe if we, what are we trying to do? Help them recover their uranium?
Say.
The president said this time, no bribes, no money will
Yeah, that didn't work out either.
exchange hands in any way, shape, or form, he said. Does that mean we won't unfreeze seized Iranian cash? Don't know.
Which is how money exchange happened in the past. It was unfreezed assets of theirs. So it's the same fucking thing, you dolt.
But we're about to have face-to-face talks and put it to paper.
Yeah, we didn't.
Trump says victory's at hand. He can almost taste it.
17 years in Vietnam and 5 years in Afghanistan and more, much more than that, and all these different places. And I said, we were in there for 2 months. And you know what? We're going to have victory very shortly.
It all started this morning when we woke up to the news that Iran said the strait's open. They won't terrorize it. And the stock
And then,
market went bananas.
yeah, it was awesome. How long did that last?
This will be a great and brilliant day for the world.
Jesus Christ. I feel like we're all watching the Mission Accomplished video, from like 2006.
Because
Was that 2006? 5? Whatever.
Iran has just announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open and ready for business and full passage.
Trump cracked the strait open like a lobster.
No.
Opened it for everyone except for Iran. We
Then it's not open.
still have to do some mine hunting, but
Yeah, we just...
Trump says the Iranians will help. That is,
They didn't.
if they even mine the strait at all. So far, we haven't
Which they are.
found a single one.
Well, how do you... First of all, they wouldn't tell you if they found them because they don't want the Iranians to know which ones they got. Secondly, the other way you can find them is by them blowing up a fucking ship.
It gets better. Iran's
It does? How could it possibly get better? I'm chubbing right now.
promising to never close the Strait of Hormuz again.
So again, these didn't come up as like red flags for you, that it was that easy all along. I really do wonder why other presidents didn't do this. If it was just that simple.
And guess what?
What?
The U.S. Navy just escorted out a cruise ship. It was stuck in the Gulf for a month, and now it's going home and people can change their clothes. Besides the 17,000 targets hit and the billions Iran lost.
One ship. We escorted. We had a military escort for one cruise ship. Was it full of oil and food and consumer goods? I guess that are all getting choked off. No.
In the blockade, getting Iran to surrender did take a little bit of cajoling.
He was on the phone with the Iranians a couple of days ago, and it got rather sporty to the point that President Trump loudly told Iran what would happen if they keep playing games. He actually lost his voice. I'd hate to be the Iranian on the receiving end of that.
Why? Because they might get a cramp from laughing?
So the deal is on. Straight's
No, it's not.
open.
No, it isn't.
Does that mean the blockade's off?
Nope. Well, and is it really a blockade? I call it a mockade, but whatever.
No.
Mr. President, what will it take to end the blockade?
And also, what will it take to explain what the fuck is happening with your hair right now? Did that part, the little fender thing, was that once over the top of this and it just fell? And that's why this looks like a bird has been nesting in it while you get cancer treatment?
When the agreement is signed, the blockade ends. As soon as the agreement gets signed, that's when the blockade ends.
Yeah, and they said they're not going to sign until the blockade ends, so where does that put us?
Trump's going to squeeze until the deal's done. Today, one of our guided missile destroyers, the USS Rafael Peralta, named after a Marine who threw his body on a grenade to save his platoon in Iraq, confronted a merchant vessel and sent it packing. Watch.
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Navy Warship 115. Request you return to original port of call in Iran. How copy? Over.
It says how copy, over, like meaning how do you not out copy?
Copy, sir. Thank you very much. Copy, sir. Me alter to Iran. Thank you.
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Warship 115. I understand you will return to your previous port of call in Iran. This is U.S. Warship 115 standing by on channel 16. Out.
Since blockade day, we've turned away 19 ships. Not a single one disobeyed.
Well, until, one did earlier for 6 hours, which had an IRGC leader actually on the boat, basically going, we're going to get through, fuck it.
We have over 10,000 sailors, Marines, and airmen executing the quarantine. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit has been monitoring the situation from the USS New Orleans, one of our amphibious transport docks. Our carrier, the USS Abe Lincoln, is in the Arabian Sea, just strangling the Iranian economy and pressuring their negotiation team into, hopefully, a full unconditional surrender.
Yeah, that didn't happen either.
The ship's loaded for bear. Its carrier air wing has 8 F-35 stealth fighters, F-18s, Growlers, command and control planes, Seahawk choppers, and Ospreys. Here's an F-18 Super Hornet taxiing on the Lincoln as it's
Very sexy. It's great. Yeah, just the fact that those things are parked there. By the way, why the fuck does that thing? Can somebody give it a paint job? Oh, I mean, you got $1 trillion. I mean, I guess it's better if it looks a little bit dusty. Maybe it's meant to be camouflaged in case it crashes like one of the other ones. But I still think we can give it a spit polish or something like that. It looks like an X-wing.
Sails alongside the USS Delbert D. Black. The USS Ford just sailed through the Suez alongside the USS Winston Churchill and the USS Mahan. And it'll be in position to give the Iranian negotiators a little nudge, a little gunboat diplomacy while they sign away their uranium.
Which they didn't do and they're not doing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That's a lot of firepower. We could have had even more if we kept Iran's fleet instead of sinking it.
Yeah, you stupid generals.
158 ships at the bottom of the sea. 158, think of it. 150. I got angry. I said, why didn't you save them? We could have used them, you know. They would rather shoot them than save them. I said, what the hell? It's only money.
Not like we needed them. We pulled off a masterclass blockade with less than 10% of our Navy.
Well, yeah, it's not a very big area. We're not fucking... This isn't the Ivory Coast. We're not blocking off the entrance and exits of the Panama Canal from 50 miles out.
And no help from our allies.
Thank you, Maria, for hitting the like button. I appreciate it more than you know.
Opened up the strait, Europe started offering their own armadas.
I received a call from NATO.
Okay, this is bullshit, too. That's just a lie.
Asking if we would like some help. Thank you very much, NATO. And I told them I would have liked your help 2 months ago, but now I really don't want your help anymore. You know, it's a little bit like if you're a politician. It's hard to believe I'm a politician, but after I won, people came up to me, sir, I'd like to make a major contribution to your campaign. And I said, listen, just so you understand, campaign contributions after I won don't count.
The Brits and the French even held a little...
Yeah, they help other Republicans get elected, or they help you get reelected. Maybe if you just said yes in the first one, you'd have had enough money to win, but you lost, fair and square.
Summit and started talking tough.
We agreed to accelerate our military planning. I can confirm that along with France, the UK will lead a multinational mission to protect freedom of navigation as soon as conditions allow.
The whole strait being closed thing was just a bluff.
No, it isn't.
We sailed 2 destroyers straight up the gap.
Yeah, the gap is the international waters anyways. And they were firing on merchant ships and the like, so they stopped anything that was shipping anything in or out. The cruise ship isn't a high target for them. It's be a wasted civilian target. That's the reason why they were able to get it through. You notice the rest of the tankers didn't follow.
There's zero enemy fire. NATO navies could have joined in. They didn't. And remember all the talk about Iranians collecting tolls? More bluffing.
No. That ship we were talking to had to pay a toll.
Apparently, they weren't able to collect a single toll. They couldn't pull off the processing because they have no banking, internet, or comms.
They're doing it with Bitcoin, or their own crypto.
It was just a couple of Iranian sailors sitting on a dock with their hands out. The Iranians strapped for cash, not just to pay for their salaries, but it's going to cost them $250 billion to rebuild. China just watched billions of infrastructure go up in smoke, and Russia watched all the defenses that they sold not even work once. We told you how
well, they did shoot down an A-10 and 2 F-15s.
Last night, how the United States is seizing control of the world's trade choke points. That's the strategy. Panama, Hormuz, Malacca. We just did a defense deal with Indonesia there. We have all the Chinese trade routes surrounded by allies. So the blockade we did with Iran, we could do it with China if it came to that.
Great, because this one's working out so well.
And get this, we just did a deal with the Philippines that's never been done in the history of the world. It's an AI manufacturing zone, over 4,000 acres. It's basically a big American colony inside a former American colony.
Great. So we're colonizing places now. Congratulations to all the third-party voters and Democrats who sat out, or independents who voted for Obama and Biden, and who were like, meh, I don't know, Trump seems fine.
And it's designed to China-proof our supply chain. Manila gave it to us for 99 years, and they even threw in diplomatic immunity, so no parking tickets. Meanwhile, we're getting a peace deal.
Oh, so Jesse thinks he gets a KMA card that he can use if he goes over there so that he can be a sex pest.
Dividend from Operation Epic Fury. The S&P and the NASDAQ broke another all-time high today. The Dow's about to hit 50,000, up 800 points today. And oil futures for June in the low 80s. The price of gas is
Well, how long did that last?
already down 10 cents a gallon since the blockade, and the American economy's teed up to rip.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So good. Like, man, there's so many houses out there for sale and everything's so fucking cheap, and healthcare's gone in, like, it's like pennies on the dollar now. Their drug companies are paying us like 200% what drugs used to cost. They're paying us to take them. Fucking great.
The Iranian economy, not so much. They're looking at such a deep depression that they could be on the brink of a revolution. This is no longer a negotiation.
That economy will absolutely collapse if this continues, this blockade continues. So I think these are less about negotiations in my mind. I know why we want to use that term, but it's more about putting our terms on the table and you take it or leave it.
Yeah, because Trump doesn't make deals. He strong arms people. That has been my point.
Iran ran out of cards. In 6 weeks, we got rid of the Ayatollah, their Air Force, Navy, air defenses, defense industrial base. And word on the street is that they're going to be handing over their uranium, stopping the enrichment, and are promising not to fund their proxies. It's not like they have the money anyway. Now, we did
Well, we're about to give them some.
this all with no boots on the ground.
Yeah, about that.
The world sees that, and we're not done yet.
And very soon, this great strength will also bring about a day, 70 years in waiting. It's called a new dawn for Cuba.
Jesus Christ. So obviously he's following that up with, Cuba's next. It's been part of the plan because this is going so well. Hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Let's see. This is 4 hours ago from Fox News. Let's see same network. Let's see if things are going equally as well as they were when we saw from Jesse Waters.
Are we about to tip back into war?
Oh dear. That doesn't sound good.
Against Iran? Well, look at what they just did. Central Command has released brand new video as Iranian-flagged ship tried to evade the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, and the United States military jumped into action. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus.
I feel it. I can feel it. It's like a tractor beam, only it repulses me. I don't know why that is.
Our military fired on that cargo.
I think it's just kind of the tacky sets at Fox. They pick a very kind of bloody maroon and the piss yellow lines and the kind of like tacky clear glass, misty glass shit that you get from a bad HGTV episode, I think that might be it. And the bullshit, sure.
Ship and took out its engine room following a 6-hour standoff. CENTCOM says that ship ignored repeated warnings to turn around before the U.S. Navy issued this message.
Watch out. Get ready. If your nipples get hard, I forgive you. This is about to get straight up. I wouldn't call it Top Gun, but
vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Okay, we gave the flare. Now we're getting be ready.
Gee, weird is that we're part of the whole crude oil, this is, and by the way, they're using like the lowest number. It's the WTI, the sweet crude. They're using that number because it's the lowest of all the numbers, because they're ones that are creeping at, $95, $100, that kind of thing. Up $5 today. Today, 6%. Yeah. Still, obviously 40% to 50% higher than it was.
So what had Iran been doing for hours out there? Well,
swimming, fishing.
They decided to try to take over the Strait of Hormuz and were attacking ships.
Hey, look, they're bringing attention to the guy that I said is running things when nobody believed me. Shit. Like, if you like how far ahead I am on these stories, please think about subscribing and hitting like and sharing the show. What? How long ago was it? It's like fucking 2 weeks ago, like right when he officially was seen as the one taking over. I've been talking about this. I've been saying this. Our pets' heads are falling off. This is, I said it, did I not? If you're in the chat room, say, and you saw me mention this, that this guy was running things before Fox ever woke up to it. Report. Fuck you. I said it last week, 2 weeks ago.
All reportedly ordered by an Iranian National Guard commander that you see there on your screen. He has taken over the military and all diplomatic operations, freezing out.
No, he hasn't. He moved into that position because we killed the last two guys.
So-called moderates in the Islamic regime. The IRGC forced multiple ships to turn around in the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend and then opened fire on some of them. Marine traffic 24-hour snapshot shows the path of an Indian flag tanker before and after it was attacked, again by Iran. And you can see it.
Yeah, we shot at ships, they shot at ships. It seems like this is the kind of thing that, what's the word, escalates.
During the strait before doubling back quickly to try to get away from the IRGC commander's fire. President Trump posted about Iran's aggressive actions on Sunday, saying in part, Iran's attacks violated the ceasefire agreement with the U.S. and more now out of CENTCOM just this past hour. Again, new video, the blockade being enforced, 27 vessels directed to turn around so far.
United States Warship 115. You are entering the area of a military blockade. This blockade of Iranian ports will be enforced and applies to all vessels regardless of flag. Any vessel that further intends to enter or exit an Iranian port will be subject to the right of visit and search in accordance with international law. If you attempt to run the blockade, we will compel compliance with force. Over.
So we are getting almost real-time action in the Strait of Hormuz. Not much.
Yes, actions that shouldn't have to happen and that were supposedly not needing to happen. And 3 fucking days ago were, the distant past, and we were all sailing towards, everlasting peace in the Middle East for the 3rd time.
Delay between this new video and the action that's happening to give the world an idea of exactly why we are there. This is a country that wants nuclear weapons. Wow.
Wow. How dare they? I mean, first of all, Israel has them. We have them. North Korea has them. Pakistan has them. India has them. And the lesson gained for the Iranians is they should have had one a long time ago, because that's the only thing that would stop this. I mean, there's I guess in theory, there's a reason why India hasn't fully invaded Pakistan and just taken it back, right? They're a much bigger country.
Vice President J.D. Vance will lead the command round 2 of negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan.
Oh, well, then shit. I feel much better. If he's going to be in charge, let's put our feet up.
Along with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. It's still unclear if Iran's...
By the way, not very flattering pictures. I think J.D. Vance is the closest because he looks kind of like he's being stern, but he looks like a youth pastor that's been asked a very uncomfortable question. But Jared and Steve look like shit.
People will actually show up. The current ceasefire expires this Tuesday night. Vice Admiral Robert Harwood is a former deputy commander of U.S. CENTCOM, and he will join me moments from now.
Well, lucky us.
First, let's go to Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst on the ground in Tel Aviv. Trey.
Yeah, hey, Harris, good morning. CENTCOM says U.S. forces seized an Iranian flag cargo ship in the Gulf of Oman.
Yeah, we saw that.
That was trying to get through the U.S. Navy blockade.
Well, that's why they would seize it, I would think.
President Trump posted to Truth Social overnight saying, in part, quote, the Iranian crew refused to listen. So our Navy ships stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right.
I'm sorry, I lost focus at the word blowing a hole.
Now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel.
Yes. Our military strikes a decisive blow against a transit ship with civilians on it.
The ship remains in U.S. custody at this moment. At least,
and we're going to keep the oil.
2 dozen other vessels were turned around over the weekend, complying with U.S. orders. The incident came 24 hours after Iran's IRGC fired on 2 vessels trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz in violation of the ceasefire. Now the question remains if a broader agreement will be reached this week.
Do I think? Let's see. What do you chat room? Do we think there's going to be a agreement reached this week? This week, I mean, it's a busy week. There's a lot going on. Is there a chance that could? I mean, if I really think about it, I'm gonna go. Let's see. Fuck. All right. I think I've got an answer. I think I know. I think I know what it might be. I think my answer is yes. Fuck me. I knew. You know what? I was gonna say no. I was gonna say something along the lines of that's ridiculous and of course not, and what in the hell would make you think that if you weren't a deluded sociopath. But I went with I was trying to. I thought I was being played, so I kind of flip-flop my answer just to somebody. That's why I shouldn't doubt myself in the future. I'll try not to.
Ceasefire is set to expire in less than 48 hours. I spoke with President Trump over the weekend, who told me if this deal isn't done, the deal that we made, that I'm going to take out their bridges and their power plants.
All we are saying is give Trump a chance.
He went on to say, if they don't sign this thing, the whole country is going to get blown up.
This clearly is a man of God. If they don't sign this thing, which doesn't exist and isn't a thing, the whole country, including, I guess, all the rest of the children and civilians, is going to get blown up. Yeah, I got it's at a certain point.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
I'm starting to think we should have put him in jail for that fraud thing when we had the chance. Because this is fucking nuts.
Oh, hello there!
And I don't know at what point anybody around him is gonna. Okay, I'll show you one thing. There was a story, again, just a story. We don't know. Is it real? Could be, possibly. Don't know. That it was on. Let's see if I can find it. It was on the Freedom Watch, like one of these QAnon adjacent shows or whatever. Is that yeah, here it is. There you go. This is apparently this is on Judge Neapolitan's show.
They recognize they've got some problems and got to try to deal with it. And then there was a report out that they had an emergency meeting Saturday night. And apparently, well, one report coming out of that meeting at the White House is that Trump wanted to use the nuclear, so-called use the nuclear codes, and General Dan Kane stood up and said no. He invoked his privilege as the head of the military, so to speak. It was apparently quite a blow up. There are pictures of Kane coming out of that meeting with his head down to the ground. So, you know,
it's that flexible.
There's some very, very bizarre things going on in D.C.
You think? So again, true or apocryphal, one need not care, because believe me, we're not in a situation where anything Trump does that's fucking crazy would surprise anyone. Anyway, so he said to Trey Yingst, if they don't sign this thing, the whole country is going to get blown up. And in theory, that kind of fits into this idea that Trump was like, let's just nuke those sites and get it over with. And Kane said, no, sir. I don't think he jumped in front of him and punched him in the face. But the idea is that, like, no, sir, that's a bridge too far. We can handle this. Talked him down from it.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson held a press conference this morning indicating that Iran has not agreed to attend talks in Islamabad, Pakistan tomorrow, and is
but I thought something was going to get signed today.
Currently reviewing U.S. proposals.
We witnessed that the United States insisted on bad faith and violation of the ceasefire. All of this is evidence that the United States apparently does not show seriousness in the diplomatic process.
Donald Trump in serious? Excuse me?
Reports indicate top IRGC commanders are actually in charge of what can be given up at the negotiating table.
Right, just like I said. You're welcome.
At this moment, Harris, we don't even know if Iran will attend the talks.
Or if the people attending the talks can say anything that will actually make a difference. And if they agree to something, if they take it back, we'll be okay with the IRGC. It's almost as if, imagine Trump having to take back whatever treaty he wants back to Congress.
Trey, thank you very much for all the latest on this. And focus now, Vice Admiral Robert Harwood, a former deputy commander of the U.S. CENTCOM, a retired U.S. Navy SEAL. Great to see you today. What can you tell me about the Marine Expeditionary Unit?
Oh, fuck off. This is where they hide behind troops. I have no problem with that guy or whatever, but they always, this is where they tell me about airplanes and how big our bombs are. And they use that instead of talking about they start talking about the could and the can as opposed to the should and the shall. Yeah. So, also, kind of across the board. When's this? Yeah. On Fox's The Big Shoe. Chaos talks. Iran negotiations spiral with conflicting voices. So, I'm getting mixed messages. Is something getting signed today or fucking not? We've got a graphic that goes in front of every breaking news bullshit thing from President Trump making up a story.
Anybody who has dealt with the Iranians will tell you it is often 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
So you're always behind and all right.
They're incredibly...
And 2 steps to the right, and then we're cha-chaing.
Slippery. They can't be trusted. We're not waiting. We're not trusting. We are.
Sorry, is this being translated from Arabic, but with the Iranians talking about Trump?
Reducing their capabilities. Their military is in shambles. Their missile program is in shambles. And now.
Is Shambles a city that is well fortified inside Iran where they're able to fire from? Because that seems to be the case.
Hopefully, diplomatically, they will do it the easy.
If I ever own a town, I'll buy one of those little towns that people forget about and some asshole celebrity rolls in and buys the town, I'm going to name it Shambles. You have to.
Way rather than the hard way of finally.
Welcome to Shambles, Oklahoma. It's nice to live in Shambles. Everything stinks. All right.
Giving up on this illegal.
So you can only move in if you're a hoarder.
Ambition.
I could do this all night. I could go with this. All right.
The Iranian hardliners are back in control in Tehran, claiming to
Wow. It's going so well.
Close the Strait of Hormuz So are peace talks falling apart, or is this just the last gasp of an expiring regime? Welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Brian Brenberg, along with my co-hosts Taylor Riggs, Lou Bassanese, Jackie DeAngelis, and with us for the hour, Rosecliff founder and managing partner Mike.
Why did I end up here today? I was going to come in and talk about AI and the equity markets because it's a money show, and now I got to stake out a fucking position on. You assholes are going to ask me about trans people, aren't you? Shit.
Murphy, good to see you, sir.
Happy to be here.
All right. The IRGC playing spoiler after Iran's pragmatists appeared to agree to peace terms.
Pragmatists. Yeah, those guys got blown up weeks ago.
The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire tomorrow night. Wall Street not panicking. Oil up a bit and stocks holding steady after a big recovery last week. All right, Mike Murphy, you are Mr. Sunshine. You always see the positives.
Let's go.
Friday was a little more positive, I would say, than today, but maybe you haven't lost hope. Tell us how you see things.
Tough to lose hope. Here comes the sunshine.
All right.
We had a great rally to where we're back in the green for the year, and we're in a better place with the situation in Iran than we were.
But based on what?
6 or 8 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ. Why? Because before that they had their whole military and now they have half of it, which they can still use to. All right.
The price of oil has come back down. But in the backdrop of all that is that when you look at our economy here, things are good to very good. Corporate earnings are very good to great. So.
Yeah, not really reflected in wages, though.
The situation in Iran, they weren't going to just go away quietly. It's a terrorist regime.
Oh, by the way, somebody just in the chat room said Tim Cook is resigning and he gets $2.9 billion. During the time that Tim Cook was running Apple, they went from, I think, a $300 billion evaluation as a company to $1 trillion. If you were a worker, if you worked at a company, at a plant or whatever, and you were directly responsible for a 3xing of the bottom line of the whole company, and you walked away with less than 0.5% of the gains, and people told you that was too much, how would you feel? For real. If nobody needs $1 billion, it depends on what you're using it for. Nobody can spend $1 billion, but you can sure build other companies on it. You can hire other people. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's not having it, it's what you do with it. But interestingly enough, he took the company to over $1 trillion and walks away with like the end of the pinky of what they gained. So, yeah.
I think.
And certainly, if you're going to pick a bad guy to bitch about, he's not one of them.
You couldn't have mapped it out better for where we are right now. We're in the best position we can be, and hopefully for their.
We're in the best position we can be. You're a lunatic.
They cut a deal. If they don't, I think the president has a plan to deal with them. And we're going to come back to, at some point next week, next month, we're going to come back to the focus on the U.S. markets, on corporate earnings, and they're pretty good.
Taylor, I woke up this morning, thought I was going to see pre-market way down. I thought it was going to be kind of a bloodshed day in the market.
I know.
Not happening.
Very well-behaved market for reasons.
Well, that's because they thought it was going to happen this afternoon. We're signing something today. He came out with fresh bullshit to try and shovel onto this thing.
That you cited. Let me start with some superlatives. So Friday, we had a 13th straight day of gains for the NASDAQ, the longest winning streak since 1992. If today
Yeah, the introduction of the personal computer into homes. It's the NASDAQ, lady.
ends up being positive for tech, and it likely won't, it would be the longest winning streak, 14 days since 1987. That is showing you that this is a very well-behaved, resilient market.
No, the reason it's happening is twofold. One is the bullshit continues, and also Trump always chickens out.
Raise a taco, take a bite. Trump always chickens out, so it's gonna be alright. Raise a taco,
Yeah,
take
so
a bite. Trump always
they're counting on him tacoing. That this is factored into the markets several times.
And it is impressive. There are a few good things underway. I think some of the recent rally has been some of that short covering. So the good news is we can kind of get back to fundamentals. If there is good news and we see gains, that's good. If there is some negative news and you see losses,
yeah, that's it. There's some negative.
That's okay, because here's why. First quarter earnings, to Mike's point, have been very strong. Brian, we've had about 10% of the S&P 500 so far. 86% are beating on the top line. 90% are beating on the bottom line. Earnings growth is still expected to be 17% this year. So far, we've had 30% earnings growth year over year. Very strong. That number likely will come
in tech
down because we've only had 10% reporting, and the number will normalize. But again, 17% earnings growth, really strong.
Yeah, because you have you're watching the birth of a non-existent industry before. It didn't happen. They're not growing because they've achieved some sort of like Coca-Cola level of selling soda and they just came up with a great new product. It's because the product didn't fucking exist until 2 years ago. So the entire thing is in an expansion wave. That, again, when it shakes out, you're kind of fucked. It's not the same thing. Also, the idea that, like, Meta is making money, get the fuck out of here. With the expansion that they're doing, they're investing. I mean, just Trump's giving them the ability to write off a lot of that investment, so it looks like growth.
Plus, we're starting to get some of those.
Who's that? Somebody in the back. I have a lot of questions.
Refunds from tariffs. Today, I think, is the first day where we're starting to get disbursements. Let's watch and see how companies start to book that on their balance sheet.
Oh, fuck you, lady. You can't count the money that was taken by the federal government last year illegally as part of the tariff thing being returned to people a year later as a profit adage.
Finally, I'll just wrap it up and say, I think oil is the most. I know we talk about equities, we talk about bonds. I am floored by oil being.
That's because there's too much oil in production, stupid. And he let Russia sell its oil back to everybody. They're completely back online.
So strong, and we're looking at Jackie here. Back when Russia invaded Ukraine, 6-month Brent futures were still over $100 barrel. So 4 years ago, when that happened,
it went up $5 today, lady. It was a fake. It was a head fake.
People thought this is going to be a long out, drag out fight. Right now, the 6-month is about $80 a barrel. Lou, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong, because it was faked out on the Friday. That the strait was going to be completely open, that Iran and everybody else would be able to have free flow through there, and that it was going to start Sunday night or some shit.
It shows that the market really is seeing this as a short-lived, in a market that can live through or get through this moment. So I guess, to me, very encouraging what I continue to see in these oil markets.
Yeah. Jackie, I read this headline.
Also, again, I told you guys about the oil glut a long time ago. Hold on one second. Dow Jones futures fall. Oil prices jump. Trump announces new Iran talks with Hormuz shut. The futures fell modestly early Monday, along with S&P 500 futures and NASDAQ futures, while crude oil prices jumped. Iran said Saturday that the Strait of Hormuz is under strict control, blah, 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 blah. The stock market surged on Friday with the S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell hitting all hitting record highs after Iranian officials and President Trump said the narrow passage was fully open. Crude oil prices dived. More leading stocks broke out. Flash buy signals are offered. Add-on entries for this, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Dow Jones futures fell 0.55% versus fair value. S&P 0.5%, NASDAQ 0.5%. These were well off initial Sunday evening lows. Crude oil prices jumped more than 5% to nearly 89% a barrel. And this is when Trump came out and said, we're signing something tonight. It's fucking over. And that's what kept it at only 5%. These people are so stupid. But I don't, I think we're all wondering. And this is, let's see, when is this? Yeah. So I want to get my timing right on these things. But what's really happening in the world is the question. I'm Hal Sparks. This is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Venmo. It's a great way to support the show. Just to, take a picture with your phone. If you use Venmo, you can send me a cup of coffee or something. And is a capitalism stream? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Is that a thing? Do those things exist, or does any discussion of financial markets and that kind of stuff qualify as some sort of subterfuge? Boy. Anyways, yeah, gas is close to $5 in Oregon, as you've seen, and I would, I think we can argue that. That's to be expected, considering Portland is a giant crater.
Goodbye, Portland, you twisted now. Where's the harbor? Where's the gap?
But the question is, are we nearing the end of the beginning of the end of the end of the beginning? We don't know, but someone might. A man who permanently has a picket fence dent in his asshole, Tim Pool, ladies and gentlemen, who says World War III has begun. It's official, and he's not. It has begun. It has begun is just the title of this one. So, I guess see you in the bunker.
The United States is fired upon and seized an Iranian cargo ship, indicating the war is still on, it never stopped, and we all have whiplash from Trump going back and forth as to whether or not the strait will be blockaded, open.
Oh, I see, because you were actually believing one way or the other, instead of just going, this guy is terminally full of shit, why would I ever believe him? And then just, keeping your head steady.
The war is over, and I think it's fair to say at this point, Donald Trump is only issuing these statements to affect the...
You know that beanie smells like weed and cat shit, right? You know that.
Oil market, because probably now we've had 5 instances of prominent Trump-supporting personalities showing the price of oil dropping. Then, later when it goes back up, no one says anything. Then Trump says the war's over again, it drops again, and it's just bouncing up and down because no one has any idea what's really going on. But in...
Sure they do. I know what's going on. He's manipulating the market to benefit Besant and Nutlick and his sons and Jared Kushner and all of them. And they're all between poly market and the stock market. They're all betting on things, doing shorting on stocks and futures about 20 minutes before he makes a stupid announcement that they know will affect the market. And then he rinse repeat. It's fucking corruption because he's corrupt, because he's doing now to the federal government and the taxpayer what he did that got him charged with 34 counts of fraud. This is not a fucking surprise. The only people that would get whiplash from what Trump says are people who are following his fucking laser pointer and believing it.
Russia, they are saying it's World War III. Now, I know.
Well, if they say it, straight from tenant media to your fucking mouth.
We've heard this 1,000,001 times over Ukraine, maybe even Venezuela. Now with Iran, people are questioning once again, is this World War III? Well, the important thing to understand, my friends,
is that eventually Tim Pool will come to the point where he says it isn't, or it is, or maybe it is, but maybe it isn't, but we'll see, and so what? And then he'll climb back on the fence and shove the picket right up his ass.
Is that with World War II, we didn't actually know we were in World War II for some time. Well, media publications had speculated upon a World War II for years.
Well, it wasn't a world war until we were. It was just a war in Europe. See, because once we entered, suddenly the world and not just a regional European war between European countries. See, that's what made it the world part. So we weren't in it until it became a world war. We were why it became a world war.
Before it started, some said this could be it when you had the Nazi invasion of Poland. It actually, the name was applied retroactively by the U.S. government. A formal insistence, this was World War II, didn't really come about till the end of the war itself.
Right, because it mattered who was participating.
In media, people had been discussing it. It's not like they were going around going, everybody, guess what? Another world war. It's World War II, and everyone just agreed on it. The reality is that when these conflicts break out, as it goes with almost all wars, you don't know if you are in it until it reaches that apex.
Yeah, it's a very interesting historical point that you don't know you're in a world war until all the countries or the powers of the world are participants. And until they join, it isn't.
And as of right now, with Russia's involvement, Iran apparently getting weapons and supplies, military technology from Russia or China, with Venezuela, Cuba, drones flying over, Trump's choking them out. Many people are beginning to speculate that this could be World War III in that.
Oh, yeah, many people are speculating that this could be. Thank God for independent media, so we don't have to listen to the same kind of namby-pamby circular logic and milquetoast reasoning and language about war that we used to have to deal with CNN. Many people are saying this is Fox going to sue him for copyright violation?
A series of global conflicts are erupting and showing no sign of abatement. Despite Donald Trump's insistence, the war is over, it's coming to an end, we've got peace talks. It just never sticks. Now,
Oh, well, real quick, that's because it's not actually happening. I mean, I don't want to, it should be fairly obvious, but it ain't. This is, he's just lying.
For many people, as of you, there's no plan here. That's ridiculous.
No, it isn't. They might have had a plan at one point and then just threw it out, and he's just fucking freeballing it.
Once again,
on your forehead.
If y'all follow the through line that we here at Timcast and on Timcast IRL have been pointing out, one thing remains.
Who's we, motherfucker? Who's we? You're in a fucking phone-size hole on the screen. It's you. I say what I say on this show. I don't hide behind fucking we. Well, that opinion was given to me by the chat. I don't know. I blame I didn't say that. I mean, we said that. We fucking Tucker Carlson now.
Certain.
I mean, literally.
China is getting choked out. Now, to be fair, there's a bit of whiplash.
No, they're not. Trump took the sanctions off Russia and they were able to get their oil through Kazakhstan and the pipeline into China. That's why, one of the reasons why the oil prices didn't jack up so high over the weekend, or in the follow-up to the weekend.
Even on my part, as to whether or not Russia is benefiting from this, whether Trump is aligning some kind of new global order around.
Oh, you'd know. It would, if Russia's benefiting from this, you would see it in your bank account.
Energy, or Trump is just targeting China and everything else is an ancillary effect.
Right. Yeah. The whole Iran thing is all just a boondoggle. It's just it's a head fake, and he's just attacking one of China's suppliers to get around. Yeah, 5D chess, dude.
We don't know exactly what the play is, but suffice.
Or if there is one, then clearly that's got to be an option. If you don't know what the play is and you can't find a play that works, then maybe there's a slight chance that there is no fucking play. That this is strategically, tactically, and geopolitically fucking dumb, and Trump is running it on impulse.
To say, with the capturing of Venezuelan oil, the surrounding of Cuba, and then a move on Iran, this isn't some accident. Now, as to the outcome, maybe they're not able to secure the outcome they want, but they certainly have an idea of what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Oh, yeah? So what is it?
Because Trump doesn't need to keep blockading Iran after these agreements come out. That being
what? First of all, how do you know they're going to agree? Apparently, we're going to go in and get the uranium dust out. How do you know they're complying? If they don't comply, what then? What leverage do you have other than bombing again? Closing the Strait of Hormuz. So, of course, we're going to be parked there for the foreseeable future.
Said, rumors are, after Trump announced the last end of the war, we're opening the strait, Iran's agreed. People started claiming Iran never agreed and Trump was lying. Okay, well, I'm going to put it like this.
Oh, God.
I don't know what Iran stands to gain from constantly just fighting and not cutting some kind of deal.
Well, the problem is that there's no deal to cut. He's trying to strong arm them into an untenable situation, which will lead to their death. That's what they think. There is no deal to be taken. We're not fucking Daleks, you dumbass.
Unless, of course, Trump's actual plan is don't let them cut a deal, make it their fault the whole time. Thus,
right. They pretend you've been negotiating and then make them the guilty party and attack them like you were planning to attack them the whole time. And again, this is who Tim Pool supported.
We strangle out China. There's a big concern, especially in...
Why would we strangle out China? They would just, in theory, buy oil from us.
Trump America First types, and I don't mean populist America First. Trump America First people believe securing the U.S. hegemonic unipolar, whatever you want to call it, circumstance situation is paramount. And there are many others that are saying, no, ignore everybody else. Let China, if they become dominant, they become dominant. It is what it is, but we should secure our borders, focus on the United States. Among the Trump supporting America must dominate the world people, this is fantastic. China is being strangled out and they're freaking out. And they only...
Okay, by the way, he's describing two halves of the maggot argument that's going on, and so that he can, again, sit right on the fence post between them, zero lube.
About 4 months of oil reserves. We're now looking around 4 or 5 weeks left for European jet fuel, and Trump doesn't seem to care that the Iranian, what did he call it? The Strait of Iran, that's what he called it, is closed. Well, let's break this down, my friends. You see, right now in the United States, the top fear that Americans have, it's actually the economic collapse of the country, which is why it was Carville said it's the economy's stupid. However, the second biggest fear is World War III.
Hence the fucking thumbnail. Get on with it.
You best start believing in the war stories, my friends, because you're in one. Now, it may turn out, as it does with many conflicts, things begin to, let's just say, simmer down.
Okay, simmer down. We did it. Now what?
And if that's the case, no one's going to call this World War III. But
you just did, asshole.
As of right now, we are getting the media murmurs.
Oh, my God. Breaking media murmurs. Holy shit.
This is World War III, and that's exactly what we saw in World War II.
So World War II was fake news? Is that where we're going?
The government didn't formally call it World War II until they won it. Here's a story from the Daily Mail. Trump's hour-long raid.
Till it was over? Yeah, I guess it could have been Armageddon if it had never finished.
Pentagon aides revealed as Iran war turns hot again after U.S. fires on tanker and drone attacks on American ships. Heavens me, let's go. Daily Mail reporting. The U.S. president was kept out of the room while his team was given a minute-by-minute update, according to a new report in the Wall Street Journal. After the F-15 Strike Eagle...
Notice he didn't read, a furious Donald Trump screamed at aides for hours following the downing of an American jet on Good Friday, the first U.S. plane brought down by the enemy by enemy fire during the war. You notice he skipped right past that sentence right there? Let's look at this again. He's reading a little piece of paper from us. He's taking the coward's way out, just skipping right past it. And this isn't one of those situations, I would argue, where you're back up, where you're going, you're trying to find the relevant part of the story. That is the relevant Trump's rage at Pentagon revealed as Iran war turns hot again after U.S. fires on tanker. Tehran warns it may snub peace talks.
Let's go.
Let's go. So let's go right to the second sentence.
Reporting. The U.S. president was kept out of the room while his team
Yeah, just skips that whole first fucking sentence like a pussy.
Was given a minute-by-minute update, according to a new report in the Wall Street Journal. After the F-15 Strike Eagle with 2 crew members was shot down, Trump turned against Pentagon officials, demanding the pilots be retrieved immediately. The regime was ready to decisively confront the American aggressor forces, but postponed strikes at the last moment due to safety concerns, according to Iran's semi-official Mehr news agency. Still, the powerful armed forces of Islamic Iran will take the necessary action when the time is right. U.S. Central Command released new images on Sunday of Sunday's daring operation. We saw troops aboard the USS Spruance intercepting the Iranian-flagged MV Tosca after multiple warnings, sending global oil prices soaring. Writing on Truth Social over the weekend, Trump said today an Iranian-flagged cargo ship named Tosca, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade. It did not go well for them. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our
Okay, so this is his idea. This is the proof we're in fucking World War II. Thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in their engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Tosca is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board.
Let me guess. By and large, a civilian crew and oil.
Monday, Brent.
Since it's a tanker.
Crude futures were up 4.74% a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate was 5.6% higher at $88.55. As the fragile 2-week ceasefire set to expire on Wednesday, a U.S. delegation led by J.D. Vance set to travel to Pakistan for a new round of negotiations, but Iran has firmly declined to take part in this, claiming Washington isn't serious about peace. I agree. I don't think Trump wants peace. I don't think the U.S. wants peace.
No. You don't get to drag the U.S. in. Fuck you. You're a U.S. citizen, asshole. Stop pulling this rusty trombone horse shit. The vast majority of the American people, that's why Trump's numbers are so low. Just because Trump doesn't want it doesn't mean the rest of us don't. Don't drag me into your personal hell.
Think, as I've said from the get-go, the U.S. is intentionally cutting off the strait while pretending like it's an accident so that they can strangle out everybody who depends on Gulf oil, positioning the United States as the top oil exporter for the first time since World War II. Many countries relying on Qatar, Kuwait, countries like China, U.S. debt holders, we have talked about this, and people, I saw this.
Yeah, but the end result is going to be that the place, that it has to be opened or the war isn't over. So even if you're choking it off, it's still temporary. Once it opens, whenever that is, even if it's far in the future, the throughput will increase and they'll stop buying American oil and go back to that. And it's not like it's going to pay off our fucking national debt during this time. We're running up a bigger price tag with the military action than we would get from the oil revenue.
Post on X where someone's like, people need to stop claiming we've got 4D chess with Trump. He really has no idea what he's doing. Stop. Take a look at the effects. By all means, you can believe Trump is as dumb as a box of rocks. I don't care.
Yeah, you do. You're just about to defend him.
I don't care what Trump says. I care about what's happening. And if you follow the through line of Venezuela down, Cuba down, Iran down, and now China being choked out, the plan is not an open Strait of Hormuz. Trump comes out and he says, the Strait of Hormuz is reopened, everybody, we're happy. And these liberals come out, these anti-Trumpers, and they're like, but the strait was open to begin with. Trump's so dumb. And I'm sitting here being like, Trump closed the Strait of Hormuz, announced it was open, but kept it closed, then announced it was open again, but still kept it closed.
No, the point we were making is that he was bragging about the strait being back in the state it was before the war. None of us believed it, though. We're making fun, we're mocking what he was bragging about. Hey guys, I got it back to the status quo I fucked up. Which he didn't. But the point is his brag.
Intention of the United States has always been to keep it closed.
What do you mean the United States? Then why didn't Biden close it? Why didn't Obama close it in 8 fucking years? Why didn't Bush, and Cheney close it? Why didn't Clinton close it? If that was the goal of America, was to shut the fucking Strait of Hormuz, we could have done it a long time ago.
Why? China is freaking out. There's something I explained in cyber warfare quite a bit over the past couple of years with China.
Oh, God.
China's been attacking the United States through cyber infrastructure for a decade plus, maybe 2 decades. Cyber war is a hell of a thing. Now,
It is. It's a hell of a thing.
some people say, how are they doing it? What are they doing? Are they stealing intellectual property? That is one component of cyber warfare, stealing our technology. But they've been shutting our internet down. And some people say, well, that's not warfare. What, they're just clogging the internet? Indeed. In advanced warfare
They use asymmetrical techniques all the time. We know this. And
strategy.
Sorry. So Trump, who said we're no more regime change, no more endless wars, is actually conducting an asymmetrical war against the Chinese's asymmetrical war. That's going to be, I guess, in theory, a forever war.
We are looking at an ascendant China trying to become a dominant global economic power.
Yeah, that's new.
So there's many ways to fight. One of them is to stagnate the economy of your opponent. If you shut down the internet, even for a couple of days, and you get a tiny fraction of slowing down the U.S. growth, that is impactful. The China and U.S. are in a race.
Oh, God. So China's going to shut down the U.S. internet. Everybody, everything, all at once for a couple of days. And to prevent that, we are attacking them asymmetrically by closing down the Strait of Hormuz so they don't have, enough oil to do it? Do their mainframes and hacker groups live off of oil?
China is advancing on the U.S. They throw a wrench into the spokes of the U.S.'s bike.
Oh, God.
Causing us to hobble for a little bit, slowing us down so they can try and catch up. They can do this.
You're thinking of Elon Musk and the AI race and Grok.
Distributed denial of service attacks or other infrastructure attacks to curtail our economy. Now, think about what that means for what's currently going on. Trump says if we cut them off from oil, it's going to force them to change how they distribute energy in their country and how they try to develop their economy.
Again, so that internet cafes will shut down and the hackers won't have someplace to go? What the fuck are you talking about? The Chinese government, the last place they're going to cut off is military sites, especially their cyber command. What do you think we need to attack their cyber networks? Sorry, we're low on gas. What do you mean? All of our mainframes run on unleaded.
China, of course, has complained about the closure of the strait and sought to get Iranian fuel out. Now, most of their fuel comes from Kuwait, but Trump's blockaded the whole thing while claiming he hasn't, and no one has any idea what's going on. So let me just say it like this, my friends.
God, this is so stupid.
Never before in the history of war has the aggressor or the aggressed upon, whichever one you want to argue, have they come out and said, here's exactly what our plan is, exactly how we're doing it, and exactly why we're doing it. That just does not happen.
Right. But that doesn't mean you get to make up shit and spackle all the gaps in Trump's idiocy with some sort of bizarre master plan.
In the instance there is an intention behind this war, you will not know it. So I can only surmise that Donald Trump and the U.S. administration, with them coming out saying this, that, or otherwise, they're not being honest because they're never going to come out and say our true goals in this war are to accomplish this thing, lest our enemies then adapt. To put it simply, if Trump came out and said, we're intentionally causing a shuttering of the Strait of Hormuz to choke out Gulf states, curtail their power on the oil market, make it so we're no longer beholden to a petrodollar. We are the sellers of oil, and China, their economy begins to collapse. These countries would say that's an act of war. Now, what about Trump saying we're going to war with Iran because Iran did bad thing? Well, these other countries now, they don't have a casus belli, a cause for war or retaliation against the United States. China sits back. They know exactly what we're doing, and they have to be careful about how they approach it because winning over the hearts and minds of other allied nations will be extremely important in a global conflict.
I'm just like exhausted by how labored and full of shit this is. This is the idea that Trump is engaged in, or the people around him are engaged in some sort of 5D chess, and that America has been doing basically what Trump wants to do and is doing for years, even though we haven't. And we've made, especially Democrats, have made multiple overtures to try and get Iran back into the world economy, normalize relationships, even if we can't deal with their regime's attitude towards their own people because it's a sovereign country, but limiting their, getting a nuclear deal through Obama and the like, and trying to restart it during Biden, even though they didn't trust us, obviously, because Trump tore up the last one. The idea that what Trump is pulling out of his ass right now is part of some sort of grand master plan put in by the deep state enlightenment fucking establishment crowd.
You may think to yourself, who cares if China knows what we're doing or doesn't? If China's being aggressed upon, they're going to retaliate, right? They're not stupid.
Right, but they're not being aggressed upon. I mean, there's an argument to say that China, whatever advances it has made in renewables, and I would argue those have been greatly overstated, have been made in large part to sever themselves from just this kind of a circumstance, an activity that we were engaged in under Democrats, and moving towards electrifying our cars, our consumer cars by and large, and using more renewables for our electrical generation than fossil fuels, so that we would not have to acquiesce to the desires of Middle East fucking monarchs and psychopaths. They're doing the same thing in theory.
We're not stupid, right? If someone
Well,
declares war on us, we're going to say, we know what you're doing. You're going to war with us whether you say it or not.
No, you're not. What are you talking about? Everybody on the maggot side thinks that COVID was a biowarfare attack, but they can't bring themselves to admit it, and say it out loud directly in those terms, because it would have meant that Donald Trump was president during the worst bioweapon attack in the history of the country, and his response was to sell the people who attacked us the largest order of beef, corn, pork, and soybeans in U.S. history.
The United States and Ukraine kept saying, we're not involved, despite supplying the intelligence, the weapons.
Right. We didn't say we weren't involved. We said we didn't have forces on the ground and we're not doing the fighting. Helping them out is not being involved. This is so fucking lame.
Ground personnel to coordinate, and then going, oh, don't look at me. I didn't pull the trigger. That guy did. So when we sank the Russian flagship in the Black Sea.
We did not sink the Russian flagship in the Black Sea.
It was the United States giving weapons, direction, and intelligence to some Ukrainian guy who pressed a button.
Nope.
Do you think Russia's sitting there being like, well,
No. This was one of their sea drones.
A Ukrainian guy pressed a button, so clearly the U.S. not. No, of course not. But then why, if that's true and Russia knows, would they not just say, that's war, United States?
Right, because it wasn't. I don't know, because you were saying we were in World War III when that happened.
Several reasons. Fear of escalation.
They'd be the ones escalating it. That's an escalation.
Fear of how the markets will react.
I see. So they're going to let America attack them to protect the Dow.
Additionally, trying to get support from other countries. So China knows we're playing these games, but they're going to have to go and convince the likes of, Vietnam or whoever else for economic support by saying the United States is aggressing upon us. Here's why. They might then say, well, it may be true, but they're in war with Iran. I don't know if you're right.
Does anybody know what the fuck that was? What that last statement was? Does anybody understand what the ever-loving shit he's talking about?
That's the point.
Sorry, let's run that back real quick. This is from a geostrategic standpoint.
Trying to get support from other countries.
Okay, trying to get support from other countries. China, in theory, getting support from other countries.
So China knows we're playing these games, but they're going to have to go and convince the likes of, Vietnam or whoever else for economic support by saying the United States is aggressing upon us. Here's why. They might then say, well, it may be true, but they're in war with Iran. I don't know if you're right.
fucking gibberish. God damn. So China will need economic help from Vietnam. So they're going to go ask Vietnam for that economic help. And their reasoning is America's being mean to us. And Vietnam's going to say, I don't know if that's really happening because they're attacking Iran. They're at war with Iran, not you guys. Jesus Christ.
That's the point.
Oh my God. It's so not the point. I can't. And all right. Next up, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks, mega worldwide. There is, is this the end? This is the end. Oh, my dipshit friend. The Christian Broadcasting Network says end times and Israel, what some get totally wrong. I think they're talking about me. These would be the Four Horsemen or the band Man of War. I don't know which. I didn't make the AI, but there you go. Does end times theology drive evangelical support for Israel? New research seems to cast doubt on this oftentimes spouted assumption. God damn. So they're really only using the free version of ChatGPT, aren't they? Because they can't, buying it or paying for it would be of the devil. Shall we say? Do evangelicals have to love and support Israel to make Jesus come back and kill every Jew in the place?
What is driving evangelical support for Israel?
I don't know, but apparently it drove them out of the church.
What is behind the headlines on that? That is the topic we are addressing today, and I appreciate you
Dunk. Sorry, it just looks like
joining me now.
Like the dude is banging his head against the wall. Maybe you're wailing because that hurts.
People Ministries, you just commissioned really interesting research on a number of
I'll be the judge of that.
Elements surrounding Israel, evangelical support for Israel. What surprised you most about these findings?
What surprised me the most was that evangelicals, and we queried folks on the survey.
Are you allowed to query them? Are they comfortable being, queried? I mean, I know some of them are, but sort of on the down low.
3,800 people in the survey, which is a good survey. And we asked, we used the four.
Sorry, you asked them?
National Association of Evangelical questions that would determine whether or not somebody is a strong evangelical, believing the fundamental.
Did you hook up electrodes to their testicles? Because you got to be sure. You got to be sure.
Of the Bible, that Jesus is the only way, and they need to share the gospel and a number of other things. And so what surprised me is that nothing has changed since October 7th. And, there's just been so much bad press about Israel, and so many people have sort of gone the other way. And I think that we can demonstrate that.
Oh, I see. So they created a self-selecting group of people basically pushing people out if they don't consider them, themselves good supporters. They basically say, are you a strong supporter of Israel? Not really, not anymore. And they go, okay, well, you're not in the group. How about you? I am. And then you're an evangelical who's in the selected group. And therefore, it's the same thing Trump's doing with MAGA. Anybody who isn't 100% on board with everything Trump's doing, even if they want to make America great again and they believe in America first, if they're not on board with Trump's agenda, they're no longer MAGA. So you leave them out. So when you ask, he's got 100% support with MAGA.
But it's wonderful for me that evangelicals, for the most part, the numbers are, let's see, I have a few questions that I answered here. But the numbers are over 70%.
Where were they before?
It's usually around, we have a few different questions. We asked the question a few different ways.
Yeah, I bet. And then you just take out the ones you didn't like the response to?
But between 70 and 75% of what we...
Depending on if we broom out some of the questions that aren't favorable to the outcome we're looking for?
We call NAE evangelicals that really believe the essentials of...
Sorry, what kind? M80s?
What we call NAE evangelicals.
NAE.
That really believe the essentials of the gospel are very favorable towards Israel. And
right, it is. I was right. I was right. It's Communist Party polling techniques, exactly. We only ask pure communists if they like communism, and if you say you don't like it all the time, you're not a true communist. Therefore, we're not asking you. So communism gets 100% score with communists. It's the easiest thing. Like again, it's a self-selecting poll shrinkage. What? Hold on, that sounds wrong.
To me, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, so, okay, one of the things that has been assumed is that what drives evangelical support for Israel is eschatology, end times theology, that is the primary driver of that support.
Mm-hmm.
I know the researchers were pretty surprised and shocked here. Can you talk a little bit about that, about what was actually found?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you one number that's amazing, and that is that 87.1% either strongly or somewhat agree that Christians should love and support Jewish people, whether or not they accept Jesus as Messiah. Now, the reason that's so incredible and so...
Well, shouldn't that be true of every group if you're a Christian? Right? Love the non-believer? Isn't that what, again, it's a self-selecting thing. If you don't believe that, then you don't believe what Christ said. So you're not a real Christian. Ta-da! Look, I did it too. It was that easy. All right. Before I get too drawn into this bullshittery, can I share with you, like, before they get too kumbaya about how everything is going? There's a war, ladies and gentlemen. There comes a time when gold loses its luster, when the jewels cease to sparkle, when the throne room becomes a prison. And the only thing that matters is a father's love for his child. There is a little bit of a war going on between Laura Looney, and Candace Owens. I don't know if you know this, but it's pretty fucking sweet, and I'll show it to you right now. I don't know how if I can even get through the latest of this, but it kicked off this morning. And all we are saying is fuck both of them. All right, the feud erupted Friday when Loomer claimed Owens shelters $12 million in homes through Battery Lane Trust, just miles apart, potentially shielding assets from Emmanuel and Bridget Macron's 2025 Delaware lawsuit over conspiracy theories about Brigitte, which, by the way, they defended Alex Jones for doing. Loomer was on his side for trying to protect his assets from the fucking Sandy Hook people, so... along with every other maggot, probably including Candace Owens, who probably went, does that work? Is that a thing? Am I allowed to do that? Owens called the allegations manic fiction, mocked Loomer with a slur, calling her a dude, by the way, which, by the way, being a dude is not a pejorative. Excuse me? Excuse me. As a man, I find it offensive that you think being a man or called a man would be offensive. So fuck you, lady. All right. Questions her personal life. While Loomer fired back with crude claims about Owen's husband, George Farmer, who apparently she says is the gay. No public records confirm the trust details yet, and the spat highlights growing conservative. Oh my God, I blocked a different account and loaded up. These are not in order or whatever. Laura Loomer has a sock puppet account, and Candace Owens blocked it because it was being extra shitty beyond Laura Loomer, even though she still talks to Laura Loomer. And Laura Loomer said that she was being blocked, but it doesn't show which account she was blocked from, which is adorable. Laura, you aren't blocked. Your other account is blocked. You can't pretend I blocked you. I'm right here, LOL. Bitch can dish it out, but she sure can't take it, right? That's all. Okay. Laura Loomer did more to defend Erica Kirk against Candace Owens in the last 24 hours than all of the frauds, blah, blah, blah. Let's jump into the latest, shall we? I don't really care. I can't, Candace Owens, I can't read this because she blocked me. Most people that lie for a living block people that expose them. What's wrong, Candy? Why'd you block me? I'm just axing questions, by the way. That would be an attempt at anti-black, slang shaming, I guess. And there's now a term that Trump called someone, said you can be loomered. Again, this is it. Yeah, right here. Word of the day, loomered. Does loomered mean getting sexually assaulted and harassed by you? Wrote somebody random. I don't care about this. I'm just enjoying this overall. This went on all fucking day. It's like there's a lot of pressure on these folks. And they're just not reacting well. Like they're turning on each other, which is totally predictable as shit. But just the back and forth all day, on and on. And this is the loomered thing, by the way. This is where Trump...
Laura, how are you? You look so beautiful as always. That's a woman with courage. You don't want to be loomered. If you're loomered, you're in deep trouble. That's the end of your career, in a sense. Thank you.
By the way, because she blew him on Air Force Deuce and on Trump Force One, and now he listens to her and fires people if she says so. That's the argument around there, or whatever. But on and on and on. That's fun. Jesus Christ. On and on and on and on. All fucking day. I just need, like, the Real Housewives of Mar-a-Lago is gonna be a banger once this shit is over. And honestly, I think it'll probably be Milo Yiannopoulos that films it. That'll be my guess. That he'll be the producer. Meanwhile, the other big story, and we've already talked about another member of Trump's cabinet being fired. A woman, of course, because they don't fire the men, they defend them. They let them leave, I guess. But the stories around Kash Patel, where they had to bust open the door because he was passed out and they thought he was dead or something had happened to him. And the day where he freaked out because he was he couldn't remember his password to log into his computer, so he thought he had been fired. And he apparently wigged out and ran all over the fucking place, yelling at everybody. And he said today, or he said he was on Maria Bahama on her show yesterday.
Or my time in the Trump admin 1 and now, and the results, I say, speak for themselves. If the fake news...
Go back up to here, whatever.
Magazine director is alleging that you have a drinking problem, that it is getting in the way of your work running the
You don't think eyes do that without some sort of chemical enhancement, do you?
FBI. What is your response this morning to this article?
Look, Maria, you and I have been at this together for a long time, whether I was leading the investigation on Russiagate back in the House.
He wasn't leading the investigation into Russiagate. And if he was, he got nowhere. Who's been arrested because of, quote, Russiagate, while he's been the head of the fucking FBI and Trump has had whoever the fuck he wants in charge of the DOJ? It's been over a year that they've been back in power. Who was arrested or tried because of Russiagate? If he was leading the investigation into it, he got fuck all. That's not a brag, dumbass. You got nothing.
Or my time in the Trump admin 1 and now, and the results, I say, speak for themselves. If the fake news mafia...
Yes, there have been none. You guys couldn't even get fucking Hunter Biden. And allegedly, where's the laptop? Feel free to at me, anybody. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. I've been saying it for a long time. And if you think, you think there would be the Biden administration, if they didn't have access to all the Epstein files, they wouldn't have released them if it could have gotten Trump, right? That horse shit. You don't think that applies to the Hunter Biden laptop as well? Where is it? It doesn't exist, does it? Never fucking did. So, again, you can judge by your results. You didn't have any, you dumb motherfucker.
It isn't hitting you personally with baseless information in Washington.
It's not baseless. They have like 7 people. They have 7 witnesses. Several people have talked to them about it. They're keeping their sources secret because you would fire those people for telling the truth.
Washington, D.C., then you're not doing your job. And
well, you're not doing any of that You don't do any of this fucking work. FBI under Kash Patel. Well, then, all right, here. We can do that. Let's see. Give me a list of the FBI's, the FBI's successes in, let's see, I'll pick a rando year, 2022. Let's see, list most wanted captures, whatever, I don't know, child victims, saved, I guess. I don't know if they're even keeping track of these. Saved, etc. Let's see. Here's a clean blah 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 blah. FBI exploited anything. Major categories. FBI Crime Complaint Center reported 944 complaints in 2022, representing a huge volume of cybercrime reporting. Let's see. What they emphasize, these complaints spent $10 billion in potential losses, protecting children from exploiting in traffic, capturing fugitives, violent offenders. Important note, I was able to verify strong 2020 figures for cybercrime and child recovery, but I did not find a single authoritative FBI page in the available results because they didn't make those. Would you like a broader bullet list with the exact numbers only, or a broader FBI year in a review summary? Exact numbers. I don't even know if they keep records like that in those terms. Wait, it's get back here. Let's see. Was war? Okay, hold on. Get back here. Back here. Oh, okay. I've reached my limit for the day. That's lovely. Fantastic. One moment. Oh, I see. Hold on one second. That's why. Whoop. Okay. Anyways, back to where we were. Beg your pardon.
It's louder than ever because this FBI, under President Trump's brilliant leadership and backing the blue and backing law enforcement, this FBI has the most prolific year in crime reduction in the United States history. A 20% reduction in the homicide rate, a 20-point drop in opiate overdose deaths. We have found and identified 6,300 child victims, 6,300 kids get to go home.
You haven't.
That's a 30% increase. Seizing enough fentanyl to kill 180 million Americans, that's a 31% increase. Our deal with China, where we stopped the flow of fentanyl precursors, are historic.
Also, the FBI didn't make that deal. It had nothing to do with it. And again, what are you going to take their fucking word for it? Good grief. Sorry, one second. Scrolling. There we go. Logging back in because that's fun. There we go. Okay, cool. Back to where I was. This other conversation. Okay, back to here. Beg your pardon.
Engagement thanks to President Trump in Busan. And our work continues. We've captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world.
Also, by the way, just because they're the American ones doesn't mean they're the ones, the top 10 fugitives in the world. We consider the FBI's top 10 list to be amongst the top 10 in the world because it's us. If you don't believe me, go look up serial killers in Russia, South America, and China. Our guys are fucking lagging. They're being lazy compared to some of these fuckers.
Rapists, murderers, terrorists, and narco traffickers. That's twice as many as Joe
But enough about Don and Don Jr.
Biden did in 4 years. President Trump and this FBI got done in 14 months. So if I'm not doing my job,
you're not doing any of that shit. You don't have to. That's why you're busy getting drunk. You're not on the fucking street, dude. You're wearing somebody else's fucking jacket.
not working, then how is it that the FBI delivered the safest America under President Trump's leadership in the history of our country?
Because it's about local law enforcement. These are state issues most of the time. Anyways, the federal government doesn't interfere in cases unless they're across state lines. And the vast majority of the crime drops have happened because A, they were statistically happening over time. There was a spike after COVID because people were, taking advantage of other people in this dark, particularly dark period. And then it tapered off as it would and continued its downward slide.
And so you know what? They can beat their drums and stand next to toxic waste all they want, but that doesn't make it toxic waste. And Maria.
Sorry, what? Sorry, say that again?
Under President Trump's leadership in the history of our country. And so you know what? They can beat their drums and stand next to toxic waste all they want, but that doesn't make it toxic waste. And Maria, I'm happy.
Yeah, he might. I think he's drunk right now.
To announce on your show that we are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring
lying down
it on. I'll see you in court.
Boom! You watch it. I'll see you in court. Here it comes. Prayer for a live. Wherein Kash Patel respectfully requests this court to enter a judgment in his favor and grant relief against defendants jointly and severally as an award of compensatory, special, and punitive damages in an amount not less than $250 million. Such other and further relief as the court deems just and appropriate to protect Director Patel's rights and interests.
So you're going to sue them?
Absolutely. It's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow you will be dropping a lawsuit against the Atlantic magazine.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a lawsuit. That looks like a demand by counsel. So that's just a demand letter from the court. Well, like, where's the case document on this? Does anybody know? Or is it just that easy in Trump's America? All you got to do is...
Yes, I will. For defamation. And because you know what, Maria? We have to fight back against the fake news. It's one of the many things that President Trump is so successful at in leading out on.
Well, except that a lot of what they said about Trump is, that he was outraged about or tried to hit back at them on was and is true. Even if maggots didn't believe it initially, a lot of them believe it now.
Because no one is attacked as baselessly as he is and as much as he is.
No, not even close to true. Just go look at his fucking Jesus posts, you dipshit. Let's see. I want to look up something if I can. Against the Atlantic text. Okay, FBI director. Magazine story initially, Kash Patel's erratic paper could cost him his job. The articles FBI director's the story is a lie, baseless, blah blah blah. Yeah, can't find the text of it here. Kash Patel sues them, reporting excessive drinking and absence. I mean, it's a public filing, right? It should be there in theory. I want to see the actual text of the thing. But apparently not. Yep. Maybe it's that one. I don't know. Politico is not loading right now. I'm not quite sure why. Jump back in here. All right, we shall move on from that then. till I can find the text in the future. All right, and on this final one, this is we wouldn't have a full day of stupid, and I know I'm going a little bit long, but it's been one of those kind of days. And tomorrow I don't have an afternoon show because I have the jam, and I've got to rest my voice because I've been talking a lot. And I'm singing Skid Row tomorrow night, which will be super fun. I'm doing Monkey Business off the Slave to the Grind album. I'm doing Pound Cake and Even Flow and Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Good times. And then I got rehearsal on Wednesday night. And then I got a show on Thursday at the Viper Room. And then Friday is Flappers. I'm probably gonna sound like I'm talking through a fucking hollowed out coffee can. Don't call me daughter, not fair to. Dissident is here. All right, this is let's end it on a real gracious, kind, uplifting note. This would be Trump attacks Bibi and Israel. And I think it's with the post where he says nobody made him attack Iran. It was his decision, which isn't really an attack on Israel. It's an attack on the people who say that Israel pulls his strings, which is fucking hilarious. And again, an argument none of them thought they would be having to make. But let's take a look at how Benny Johnson polishes this turd, shall we? Hit the like.
You will not get any more.
What the fuck? He's talking to an Iranian goat over wine, which he doesn't drink in theory, on a rainy day in New York.
But Lebanon will stop being attacked.
Sorry, what?
Not get any money, but Lebanon will stop being attacked.
You will not get any money, but Lebanon will stop being attacked. And apparently Bibi Netanyahu does not like the idea that Donald Trump is going to get drunk and fuck a goat. This is this is how Benny Johnson thinks this is helping? Holy shit. And lightning struck a cabbie because God is mad, I guess.
Last year, President Trump was able to negotiate a peace deal between Israel and Iran. However...
What? No, he didn't. What? Wait. Run that back. Hold on, shithead. What? Stop. Oh, hold on. Back the fuck up. There was a peace deal between Israel and Iran last year? Are you fucking high?
During that negotiation, Israel and Iran...
Stop. He was able...
And Iran, how...
Sorry, back up. Why is my keyboard dead? Is that what happened? Get out of here. Yeah, I guess so. Hold on. I'm running down the battery on everything these days. I'm doing these long streams and it's just killing everything.
However, during that negotiation, Israel and Iran kept bombing each other.
So I'm going to go with he didn't negotiate Wait. Listen to how fucking dumb this is.
Last year, President Trump was able to negotiate a peace deal between Israel and Iran. However, during that negotiation, Israel and Iran kept bombing each other, which led to the single funniest press conference that Donald Trump ever gave. And this...
Oh, you mean where he snapped and said they don't know what the fuck they're doing?
The totality of the press conference. Here, listen to this.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So
apparently you do. Sorry, and this was him negotiating a peace deal that occurred.
I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that.
Again, gibberish.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's definitely him being hilarious. Why is that funny? The dude fucking snapped. Why are you laughing, asshole? For real. Do you think just all F-bombs from him are just fucking like troll bait and it just does he look happy? Does he look like he said that because it was going well? Or because he had control of the situation?
As far as I know, that's the first time that a president said a hard F-bomb directly into the cameras. We've all heard the Nixon tapes. Obviously, presidents have used many F-bombs before and many other bombs before, but that's the first time that somebody said they don't know what the F they are doing.
Right, because, and directly in public on purpose, because he's got dementia, you dumb motherfucker. He's disinhibiting.
And President Trump has followed up on that a year later. Trump's sharply worded notice to Israel, enough is enough. So here's what happened. As President Trump has sort of taken the Iran flank, Israel's kind of decoupled from that escalating and now de-escalating conflict, thank God, Israel's began
escalating and now de-escalating and then escalating again.
Begun bombing of Lebanon. Lebanon is right on the border of Israel, and they're lobbing missiles back and forth at each other. And there's war crimes allegations, striking civilian buildings, and so on. Israel just out doing what they do best and bombing, other nations in the Middle East. And Trump is watching the destabilization and is saying, no, you're not going to do that. And Iran opening up the Strait of Hormuz was sort of like based on the full ceasefire deal.
Yeah, it totally was. Yeah, all of this worked. It was working so well.
That Israel had with Lebanon that was just negotiated at the White House. So President Trump is like, we're not going to do this again. We're not going to allow Israel and belligerents to derail a peace deal. Enough.
Especially when your peace deal is based on belligerence.
President Trump had stern words and made clear that he's in the
driver's
seat for the 10-day ceasefire between the Jewish state and Lebanon. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA.
Actually,
enough is enough, said the president in a sharply worded Truth Social.
Yes, so sharp that it apparently cut right through the document that they were signing and split it in two, and then they didn't sign it because it was torn up. Yeah, they just had nothing to sign anymore, so they just kind of went back to bombing. He should use less sharp words. Maybe you'd be able to preserve peace. This is so stupid.
And Trump also threw cold water on a cash component being part of the ongoing negotiations to end the war in Iran, as Axios reported. The U.S. was considering releasing $20 billion of frozen assets in exchange for besieged Iranian republic surrendering its supply of enriched uranium. No money will exchange any hands in any way, he pledged. The deal is in no way subject to Lebanon. The USA will work separately, Trump saying that he's going to travel to Pakistan in order to sign a peace agreement.
Yeah, he's not.
My goodness. The president's astonishment to admonish.
Yeah, it's just call it astonishment at this point. It's amazing. Admonishment
to Israel comes hours after Bibi Netanyahu said his country had more work to do to achieve its ultimate goal of dismantling Hezbollah. One hand holds a weapon, the other hand extends peace, Netanyahu said in a video statement. 10-day ceasefire at the behest of President Trump. However, he hinted at more battles ahead. Oh no. I will say honestly that we have not yet finished the job. There are things that we plan to do regarding the remaining rocket and drone threat, which I will not detail.
Yeah, that's exactly what Trump has been saying.
As you can see here, plume of smoke from an airstrike in Lebanon. There it is. Kind of pretty country, honestly. Lebanon. So what will Israel do? Well, I'm not exactly sure. But President Trump is making it very clear that he is daddy again.
Jesus Christ. And they're going, you're not my real dad, fuck you.
In this situation, work with Lebanon, deal with Hezbollah situation, appropriate man.
Yeah, he's not kidding. He misspelled it. He's stupid.
Israel will not be.
It's the president of the United States. Like, and he wrote Hezbollah.
Bombing Lebanon any
If it was Joe Biden, you would be using that for weeks to prove that he had dementia.
longer. They're prohibited from doing so.
Or was always stupid. Wasn't always the smartest, low IQ.
President Trump says. Well, if you are prohibited from doing it, and if all of your military funding relies on American equipment and American dollars,
all of it doesn't. A good portion of it does, but we don't fund their entire military. We give them a very big boost, but they've got a decent GDP. It would hurt if we stopped. It would only really hurt if we stopped selling them stuff, not the money that we give them.
Entire defense budget is American dollars, and all of your tech are
no, it isn't.
American munitions. And your very existence sort of depends on the ongoing partnership with the U.S. military. And I'm not talking about Israel as in like, God, right? God.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's what it is. God, religion, because we give them all this defense money because God.
Destroy or raise up any nation he wants to. I'm talking about the nation state of Israel right now, as it is formatted and their relationship with.
Okay, maybe we just need to defrag the country. Maybe it needs reformatting. Maybe we should wipe it and start again.
The U.S. government. I think that they are, quite frankly, profoundly different, right? And so, anyway,
Anyway,
you should listen. And this is President Trump using quite a hammer on Israel.
No, he isn't. It's a fucking tweet.
This is astounding. President Trump orders Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon. Pretty unprecedented. I don't remember any U.S. president publicly prohibiting Israel from doing something.
And he didn't. He said it, but there's no teeth to it.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't say, if they attack, I'm going to remove we're not going to send them arms. He didn't. There was no reasoning behind it. It was just like, I prohibit them. All right. Cool, man. Pull my finger.
He did it right here. He did. This is him.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that.
Why is Benny getting off on this?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Do you understand that? Yeah, this is effectively Donald Trump doing that 10-day cessation of hostilities to enable peace negotiations between Israel and Lebanon. There were peace negotiations. Those took place at the White House. Lebanon ceasefire deal, will it hold?
Hold on. So Netanyahu and the Lebanese president or their envoys were at the White House and negotiated this, and it lasted all of a fucking half an hour?
Israel and Lebanon agreed to implement a cessation of hostilities on April 16th. This is for 10 days to enable peace negotiations that were done by the State Department, and Trump saying,
well, and Hezbollah is not part of the Lebanese government. I'm sure they're infused in there, but there's There's plausible deniability and separation between them. So why you didn't sign a deal with Hezbollah? That would be work. That would be a thing.
He wants to.
Lebanon and Israel aren't at war. In theory, anyways. It's fucking Hezbollah versus the Lebanese government and Israel. They're the warring party in this. This is like saying you create, we got peace in the Middle East because because the Abraham Accords and Qatar and Israel promised to get along and stop bombing.
Sign a peace agreement at the White House. Okay. Direct talks, the government of Lebanon and Israel brokered a United States of America, Lebanon, Israel reached out to the understanding of both nations, worked to create the conditions conducive and lasting peace between the two countries, full recognition of each other's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and establishing a genuine security along the shared border while preserving Israel's inherent right to self-defense. Okay, good.
Again, Hezbollah isn't the Lebanon. It's fucking stupid.
Great.
No, not great. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's like they worked it out between them and Kuwait, and so therefore, or how about this? Between them and Yemen. Do you think the Houthis will give a fuck?
It's what you want. You want peace, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
Apparently he doesn't.
To see it. It's kind of interesting.
Kind of interesting. Kind of.
You're seeing all the ships begin to travel through these.
No, you're not.
Straight up Hormuz.
No, you're not.
You're seeing economic breakouts now after President Trump has literally truthed his way through the morning and through all of these negotiations. Look at all this.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
From the top rope here. A brilliant day for the world, says Donald J. Trump. There you go.
Based on what, you dumb motherfucker?
Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again.
That's a lie.
Well, and what does that do for the price of oil? The price of oil is down nearly 35%. It crashed to below $80 a barrel.
And then it came right back up.
And the stock market is doing just fine. Stock market is soared 1,000 points today.
Okay, so this must have been from his Friday show, and he posted this yesterday. Is that the theory? Because this is a day old, this video. So that means he probably did this shit Friday afternoon.
So I think Donald Trump wants to keep this roll going. And
yeah, it's totally. He's on a roll, baby.
Want anyone to mess it up.
He doesn't want anyone to mess it up. I agree. Now, the question is shut up, let's see if I can find videos, stuff to, let's see, this is an hour ago. 4 hours ago, 6 Yeah, that was Navy. The most recent one, his most recent video is this guy. Whoops, sorry. I don't want to carry the, quit it. Is it? Okay. Quit it. No, I don't want to do that. Open that up and there you go. Open it in a new tab. This is Israeli soldier caught doing unthinkable to Jesus Christ, who is currently not present. He's sitting at the throne foot side. He's in the kitchen of heaven, making himself a snack. Caught in 4K, says the soldier, which is AI, obviously, smashing a thing with an axe. So this is an Israeli soldier knocking down a. Okay. Sorry, he turned the hammer into wine and then drank it. Sorry, was that a statue of Jesus or Kash Patel?
I am a Christian, and it is my obligation to defend the Christian faith. It doesn't mean
not through your behavior, obviously.
I hate other people. That's actually immoral. But it does mean that I need to respond when I see images like this, because this is also immoral.
I don't know. There's some stuff in the Bible about not making any graven images, so.
It's an IDF soldier smashing with an axe, battle axe, the image of the crucified Christ.
I don't know that was a battle axe. It looks like a splitting maul.
Desecrating
the flat end and a splitting end.
The symbol of Christendom. And it's all caught on tape. It's been confirmed. It should make you very, very angry.
Why? Why would someone's belief in God or in the meaning of the words of Christ or what have you be and your deep and abiding belief in your own behavior be predicated on the behaviors of anybody else? Oh, right, because you're a fucking phony.
IDF soldier is pictured smashing a statue of Jesus with an axe in Lebanon. A soldier from Israeli Defense Force has been photographed striking a statue of Jesus, beheading a statue of Jesus. In Lebanon, which has a Christian president, has many Christians living in it, the Israeli military responded, saying that it views the incident with great severity. The image shows the soldier wielding an axe.
A splitting maul.
A Christian village in south of Lebanon near the border with Israel. Lebanon is drawn into the Middle East crisis in March when an Iran-backed armed group, Hezbollah, launched rockets towards Israel, supported the Islamic Republic. Israel responded with a bombing campaign across Lebanon. Following the circulation of the photograph, Israeli military said the incident is being investigated. It should be more than just investigated. There is zero reason on a battlefield to ever do this, to ever desecrate the symbol of Christendom, unless, of course, you have seething hatred for Christians. And there's
Or you're just a kind of run-of-the-mill bigot. I mean, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be seething. I think seething would have to be if, like, you know, those people that on Easter, they allow themselves to be crucified. South America, there's a bunch of these things where people will get their hands nailed up for Easter to prove how devout they are. If you tore one of those guys down and smashed his head in, that would be seething. I think this is just, you know, again, religious desecration, but obviously they've done worse.
Plenty of that exists all around the world, certainly in this part of the world. Appropriate measures will be taken against those involved in accordance with the findings. Furthermore, the IDF is working to assist the community in restoring the statue to its place. I would like to donate. The post
Why don't you go down there and pose for it?
Continued, and I'll read you the post.
I'll do it.
Just a moment, but people are enraged at this. Here we go. Lebanon Israeli soldier smashing the head of a Christ statue during a military operation. It's nothing military. There's no military objective here whatsoever. The IDF is currently examining the reliability of the photograph. If it is real, the recent picture of these actions do not align with the IDF's values, behavior. The incident will be investigated thoroughly. We'll take the steps. Why don't you name the actual soldier that did this? Here we go. IDF.
Well, in theory, they will if they know it's a real IDF soldier.
What did they say? Following the completion of an initial examination regarding the photograph, IDF soldier, a Christian symbol, determined that it depicts a real IDF soldier. It really happened. It's not AI. They view this with severity. The incident is being investigated by Northern Command and being addressed through the chain in accordance with the findings. Furthermore, the IDF is working to assist in the community restoring.
By the way, Benny is more upset about the desecration of this statue than he is about the girls' school in Iran. I would just like to remind you of that little detail, because he's a Christian.
Essentially, the IDF is operating to dismantle terrorist infrastructure. Oh, yeah, really? Well, it looks like you're dismantling Christian infrastructure.
Well, I wouldn't call it that infrastructure, unless it's like a wine dispenser.
And this is evil. And I don't know what else to say. It's not like it's not.
Well, it's singular. It's not in context. It's I don't know how legit it was. Maybe the front of it didn't look at all like Jesus to him and had something painted on it. I'm not excusing it. I just please jump on this with both fucking feet so we can see how your selective outrage about this versus what's happened to women and children in Gaza or fucking Iran.
Any way would I wouldn't want this. We've been banging on and on and on about the potential destruction of the Dome in the Rock, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. I am not calling for that. The last thing that I want.
Well, technically it would be, because that's Armageddon. It is the Christians. it is the last thing you want. After that happens, you don't have to want anymore because the end of the world will be here.
Right? But like there's
No, not right. Actually, you kind of want it to happen because that's the fulfillment of prophecy. You may not want it during your lifetime if you're a big wuss.
some megalomaniacal people that absolutely want this to happen, and we're hoping it would happen. Plenty of bombs were landing. I don't want that to happen.
Right. Why? I mean, if you have no control over it and the prophecy is going to play out and it's really what has to happen for Jesus to come back, why wouldn't you want it to happen? It might be uncomfortable in the interim, but isn't the whole point? Like if it's part of the prophecy, you really can't avoid it.
It's something that should infuriate people of all faiths. There should be some things that we are above.
I am. I'm not going to do that anytime soon.
The Assembly of Catholic.
Who the fuck is we? Sorry, I'm supposed to get outraged at, like, Jesus Christ, like the fucking. How about all the Buddhist statues that used to exist in Iran? Right? Those are gone. The ones that there were ones I think in Iraq around Baghdad, south of Baghdad. Gone.
Ordinaries of the Holy Land expresses profound indignation and unreserved condemnation of the destruction and representative of Jesus Christ crucified. You know, they've been really like with a bloody cheek. They've been really going after Christians, man. Preventing, for instance, like there to be a holy mass and communion, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Sepulchre, not sepulchre. Anyways, nuclear, whatever.
Preventing, you know, this was on Easter of all days. I mean, maybe you could like argue against it, but it's been going on for thousands of years. A walk through Jerusalem, tracing the footsteps of Christ, ending at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre for a mass. They prevented that this year, saying, you know, for safety reasons, we're not going to allow it. I think that's totally wrong. You know, the Pope was against it. So
the Pope is against safety.
You know, bishops in Jerusalem. The assembly calls for an immediate, decisive disciplinary action, credible process and accountability, clear assurances that such conduct will not be tolerated or repeated.
Mm-hmm. Now do snipers.
St. Paul the Apostle declares, "Far be it from me to glory except the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ. For a believer, the cross endures as a source of dignity, hope, and redemption, summoned to overcome violence through sacrificial love."
Right, but we didn't see him desecrating the cross. He's desecrating the body of the man put on it, which is supposed to be emblematic of Jesus, which would be a graven image, which the Ten Commandments literally tell you not to make. Which is why some churches have a Christ hanging on it, and other churches forbid that.
Good for you.
Yeah, man.
Goodness. The damage to the symbol is disgraceful. Commend the IDF for their statement, but you need to actually do something competent that'll take strict measures. Let's see. Shameful action should be completely contrary to our values. Yeah, I mean, damn it. Like, when you have so many Christians supporting the state of Israel, it just seems like there's a lot of attacks on Christians right now.
You do realize that wasn't a real person on the cross, right? And most, if not everybody that you're reading is condemning it because one dude did it. So can you take your fucking persecution complex and shove it up your ass?
In this part of the world, in every country in this part of the world, it's raging. At the Jewish state, and it's not like we're above that. Like, obviously, America in the war in Iraq, like, led to an enormous amount of attacks on Christians. Some of the oldest Christian villages in the world were in Iraq, and we didn't care about them at all. We bombed them.
Oh, did we? That's funny. I remember marching against that war.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's why I was against it, amongst many reasons.
Horrible. I denounce it. It's awful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Jewish state Israel cherishes, uphold Jewish values, tolerance, mutual respect, Jews and worshipers of all faith. Yesterday, overwhelming majority of Israelis. I was stunned and saddened to learn an IDF soldier damaged a Catholic religious icon in Lebanon. I condemn the act. Military authorities conducting a criminal probe against the offender. Christians are being slaughtered in Syria and Lebanon by Muslims. Christian population in Israel thrives unlike anywhere else in the Middle East. Israel is the only country Christian population standard of living is growing. Israel is the only place in the Middle East that adheres to freedom of worship for all. Ambassador Mike Husby is upset about it too.
Sorry, Ambassador who?
Ambassador Mike Husby.
Ambassador Mike Husby.
Upset about it too.
Sorry, who?
Ambassador Mike Husby.
Yeah. You know what? Some letters just don't deserve to be read. Finally, someone who has the strength to just tell CK to fuck off.
He's upset about it too.
Yes, Mike Husby. Are you secretly wishing he would be your hubby? Is that?
Yeah.
I woke up this morning to the fake news media falsely claiming I lied about the image of an IDF soldier smashing a statue of Jesus Christ. They insisted there was no other official comment on my tree. How ridiculous.
Nope. It's real. IDF has confirmed that this image is authentic. It's truly disgraceful. Truly evil. Horrific.
Again, can you imagine these guys saying a similar thing about an IDF soldier who kills a civilian? Kills a civilian. Child. Can you imagine? This many people, like, being outraged on shitter.
Cardinal Pizzaballa, Catholic leaders in the Holy Land, are
Pizzaballa.
very angry. See?
I don't like a pizzaballa. I like it flattened out so it's easier to eat. Pizzaballa too much. It's like eating a giant orange made of a cheese and bread. I like it a pizzaballa, but only, so you can pack it for a picnic or something like that. And then you take it the pizzaballa and you smash it and then you open it back up like one of those blooming onions. That thing, yeah.
Rightly should be. Statue of Jesus Christ in Lebanon before Israel found it. Look at this. So this is what it looked like before. So what a beautiful statue.
Easy.
And something that you can find, iconography, of course, that you can find all throughout the Holy Land. It's called the Holy Land because of Christ Jesus.
Well, and all the other Abrahamic traditions. I mean, it's not just because of Jesus they call it, though. There's a reason you call it the Holy Land, but the reason other people call it the Holy Land is a bit of a fucking mess down there, as Eddie Izzard would say.
If you are a Christian. There are entire Jewish organizations with billions of dollars dedicated to responding to this and complaining, no matter how the site is trivial.
The site is trivial. Jesus Christ. This dude cannot fucking read. There are entire Jewish organizations with billions of dollars dedicated to responding to and complaining about insults to Jews and the Jewish faith, no matter how slight or trivial. But if you draw attention to this, someone will inevitably call you anti-Semitic. Now let's hear Benny read this.
There are entire Jewish organizations with billions of dollars dedicated to responding to this and complaining, no matter how the site is trivial. But if you draw attention to somebody, they will inevitably call you anti-Semitic.
What? Was that anywhere near what was actually on that page? Anywhere fucking near. You're just going to zip past chunks of words and make up a whole new meaning.
Interesting that the crucifix stood in Lebanon untouched amongst our supposed enemies, yet 5 seconds after our greatest ally invades, they destroy the icon of Jesus. Let's check on the Judeo-Christian values. IDF has confirmed the viral photo showing its soldiers is real and authentic. Make an example of this piece of shit. IDF has confirmed that it's real. Okay.
Okay, enough already.
What's to be said?
One guy did something awful. Most of the people are condemning it. The IDF soldiers would have to be, to some degree, extremist in their Jewish beliefs, especially if they're ranked up and they're on the frontliners. probably believe that every other religion around the area is trying to kill them, wipe them out, limit what they can do, all that kind of stuff. So they might react like fucking crazy people. I mean,
like as we have done on this channel, you need
what? As you've done on this channel, what?
Done on this channel, you need to ask for consistency and respect and truth and dignity out of your partners.
Yes, get dignity from your partners.
And you need to demand it. I want the
Well, I mean, the vast majority of people responded to it thinking it was fucking awful. And
best for my president. I want the best for my Christian nation, for Western Christendom.
it would be Christendom, but
Uh,
if you're a Christian and you're dumb, that's probably how you would pronounce it.
it is actually Christian values of tolerance.
Right. You seem a little short on that right about now.
Christ didn't say go murder anybody or destroy any other churches.
Huh. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't tell your audience that. Maybe you should call fucking Pete Hegseth since you have his goddamn number.
Or destroy. I mean, Christ said he's going to destroy the temple, actually, is what Christ said. Because he is the temple. Because Christ is the Savior.
Okay. You lost me.
And then he made the law whole and real.
Sorry, what about your hole?
And so it makes me enraged looking at that.
Yeah, I could tell. This is what your fucking rage looks like. Simmer down.
It is actually Western Christendom values.
Christendom values? Christendom values? Is that what you have?
That has at its heart
the values of Christendom is what you're trying to say, I think.
Tolerance, but there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate.
Actually, no. Turning the other cheek involves that kind of tolerance. Why is this the thing that's like the straw that'll break the fucking camel's back? The bombing of civilian sites in Lebanon, that's not doing it for you? But the statue, that's the last straw. Do you see the abs on that motherfucker?
Hopefully they fix it. It's more Denny.
Sorry, you're just jibber jabbering.
Christendom values.
Christendom.
That has at its heart tolerance, but there are some things that we
that's had its heart to tolerance.
Values. That has at its heart tolerance, but there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate. Hopefully they fix it. It's more Denny.
I hope it did next Benny. Fuck.
Crap, let me know what you think in the comments.
Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm so enraged.
Hopefully they fix it.
Hold on. Wait. What a dipshit. Holy fuck. What a mess. Honestly, like the trail out was there. For somebody who's fucking enraged.
Savior. And then he made the law whole and real. And so it makes me enraged looking at this.
This is what your fucking rage looks like. I understand why no one is afraid of you.
It is actually Western Christendom values that has at its heart tolerance, but there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate.
That's had its heart to tolerance, but there are some things we shouldn't tolerate because Jesus would want us to get upset about a graven image of him being smashed by a single person, and you should use that to judge an entire people, even if the majority of them come out against it.
Hopefully they fix it. It's more Denny.
Hope.
But there are some things that we just shouldn't
sorry. I'm trying to get the hopefully blah blah at the end.
Tolerate. Hopefully they fix it. It's more Denny.
Hopefully there's the next fight.
But there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate. Hopefully they fix it. It's more Denny.
Hopefully there's the next fish. I don't know what. Hopefully there's the next fish. That's all I got. That's all I can get. Hopefully there's the next fish. Like, subscribe. Hit the thing in the comments below. Hopefully in the next fish. See you in the next fish. What?
But there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate. This is one of them. Hopefully they fix it. It's more Benny.
Hopefully the next fish. That's it. That's all I got. Does anybody else here with them? Does anybody else have any ideas? Hopefully they'll fix it. Is that what you think? Holy.
But there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate. This is one of them. Hopefully they fix it. It's more Benny.
Nope. It's not hopefully the next fish. It's hopefully the next fish is it.
But there are some things that we just shouldn't tolerate.
I'm not. I can't look.
Hopefully they fix it. It's more Benny.
Hopefully it's the next fish. That's it. Like and subscribe. Hopefully it's the next fish. Dude, it's bad enough that you can't fucking read. I mean, I guess we're lucky. You know what? I take it back. I'm happy that he speaks as poorly as he reads, because if not, that tenant media money that he was getting from the Russians would have made him, you know, it would have 10x the damage he could have done in the world. Yeah, I think it's hopefully the next fish. How's it, Dr. Huffar? Hopefully it's Netflix. Yeah, that might be it too. It's not hopefully they fix it. I swear to God. I listened to it. We listened to it 3 times. It's not hopefully they'll fix it. And if it was, the fact that it came out in such bad shape is amazing. Yeah. And also, like, yeah. Yeah, I don't, it's weird. There's nothing in there that I can't make any sense of how he actually, I mean, this is the other video that was up on his channel. I know I'm going late again, but look at this. Mass arrests of Indians. Trump is laughing and holding cuffs, and there's a bunch of people, Indian men in orange jumpsuits. Trump begins to mass arrest Indians after insane new fraud exposed. Holy shit. Trump is lassoing Indians.
When you get home and you haven't lost a one of them, ain't nothing like it.
God damn. And they put MAGA on his hat after the fact. The animation didn't have it, so they put it in post.
You know, I want mass deportations.
Yeah, you're not going to get them.
There's a reason why the criminal underbelly
because you're a bigot
of our country would be cleaned out significantly if we
citation needed
had them. So
no.
Many people from the third world come here.
Trump DOJ has indicted 10 Indian nationals for their participation in a visa fraud scheme in which they would stage armed robberies at convenience stores. Once the police were filed, clerks would qualify for U visas, which were reserved for victims of violent crime who cooperate in criminal investigations. Okay, so the idea was they would stage a robbery, and then the owner of the store or whoever, the clerks, the people in there would file for that they had been victims of a crime. So they got a U visa to stay here because while they were here, they got attacked.
And view our nation as a treasure trove, a piggy bank, in order.
Yeah, but they were working
to be looted every
Excuse me. Beg your pardon. I'm allergic to
This is some bullshit. We see through it.
Sorry. So
Somali and Haitian, and now we've learned Indians come here and stage mass crimes, taking advantage of our goodwill and hoping.
Well, they stage fake crimes. For the record, the crimes weren't real. That's what the point of the story is.
That they can benefit from us being morons. Thank God Trump is mass arresting an Indian gang.
There's not a mass. There's 10 people.
Interesting here.
For visa fraud.
For their participation in a visa fraud scheme. What would
schemers, not gang members, not violent criminals. They're schemers.
happen here? They'd rob and abuse each other, so the Indians would stage.
They'd rob and abuse each other. That sounds kind of naughty. I don't know about that.
Crimes against each other. It's like Indian Jesse Smollett at convenience stores that they run. Oh, once the police reports.
So they worked here. They had jobs. They weren't on welfare of any sort.
Are filed, the clerk would qualify for a U visa. I've never heard of that. What is that?
Well, let's see. Mm-hmm.
It's a visa that is reserved specifically for victims of violent crime, so that they could cooperate with a criminal investigation. You can't get deported if you're a victim of a crime. So Indians were straight up. So
yeah, it's usually reserved for victims of crime who were trafficked.
Jirkar Dangtu Patel, and then
any relation?
Misha Mashu Patel.
Mahesh Kumar Patel.
Jirkar Dangtu Patel.
Jitin Drakamar Patel.
And then Misha Mashu Patel.
Misha Mashu. That's Mahesh Kumar.
Patel. And Sanjay Kumar Patel.
Okay, that one he got because the consonant and vowel content was easier for him to, contemplate, I guess.
And Jason Patel.
Sorry, they dicked into what?
And Sanjay Kumar Patel.
Did what?
And Jason Patel.
Sorry, they dicked your what?
And Sanjay Kumar Patel. And Jason Patel.
They dicked they put their dick in your what? You mean Deepikaben? Well, I don't know where you went straight to dick, but I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
And Ramanathabe Patel.
Ramesh Bahai.
And Aminabha Patel. And Ramanathabe Patel. And
I wonder why these people thought they could get away with crime in the United States.
Jabatabi Patel.
Zanjatabin?
And Mishek Patel. And Sunal Patel.
You mean Minkesh? How do you fuck up the easiest one?
Patel. And Singjabatabi Patel.
Sangatabin.
And Mishek Patel.
Mishek. Minkesh. You got Mishek from that.
And Sunal Patel. By the way, a lot of these guys are like in their 50s and 40s.
Yeah. And any relation?
They'd all rob each other.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't rob each other. They faked robberies.
Rob each other.
They didn't rob each other. They faked robbing each other.
And then they'd claim to be victims of a crime. And it was all them doing the robbing.
The fake robbing.
Again, it's like Jesse Smollett, but the Bollywood version of it. Indian nationals have been indicted by
10 Indian nationals. 10. Do you have any idea how many Indian people are in the country?
Federal grand jury in Boston.
Including the head of the FBI currently, who shares a last name with all of these motherfuckers.
Connection to a conspiracy to carry out staged armed robberies on convenience stores. Purpose
of convenience stores.
Of allowing store clerks to falsely claim that they were victims of a violent crime. Then they can claim that on their immigration applications. Defendants were previously charged in a criminal complaint in March 2026. So here's the complaint. 10
You can tell when he starts losing the plot when his voice just tapers off.
Indian nationals indicted for visa fraud conspiracy. This is how desperate people are to stay in our country. This is why mass deportations must happen and happen now.
Yeah, but these people came in legally, you dumb motherfucker. They had jobs. They wanted to extend their work visas and probably couldn't under Trump, so they tried to use a different scheme, which they wouldn't have had to use if they could just extend their work visas because they were fucking working.
Let's go ahead.
I'm sorry, Bridget. I didn't mean to make you pop a stitch.
Read.
Oh my God, he's going to try and read. Help us all. Oh no. Another episode of Benny Can't Fucking Read. Seriously, dude, I'm about to take away the shit reader award away from Dan Bongholio and give it to you.
According to the charging, Rambasha and his co-conspirator.
Rambahai. There's no S-H-A in that at all. R-A-M-B-H-A-I. It ends in A-I. There's no Asha, Ashashapanga, Hafar, Melmahe. What are you doing?
Set up and carried out staged armed robberies of at least 6 convenience and liquor stores and fast food restaurants in Massachusetts and elsewhere.
Mostly in Massachusetts.
It's alleged that the purpose of the staged robberies was to allow the
staged robberies
clerk present to falsely claim that they were victims of a violent crime on an application for a U non-immigration status visa. The U visa is available to victims of crimes suffered mental or physical abuse while they've been helpful to law enforcement and prosecution of criminal activity.
Yeah, the problem with the whole plot, because it seems really stupid and it's easy for you to get caught, is that the only reason you have the U visa is that you're helping the police figure out who robbed you. And if it was a staged robbery and the people who were staging the robbery were trying to help you get a visa, officer, I figured out who is behind this whole criminal enterprise. It's me.
How often do you think this actually happens?
Never. That's why you never fucking heard of it.
You know?
No, you don't know.
In the course
it's so dumb. That's why they all got caught.
Of the alleged staged robberies, the robber would allegedly threaten the store clerks with an apparent firearm before taking cash.
An apparent firearm
from the register,
made of licorice, of course,
and fleeing while the interaction was captured on store surveillance video. The clerks and owners would wait 5 or more minutes until the alleged robber had escaped before calling the police to report the crime. The victim,
again, in quotes.
These are all in quotes, are then...
Yeah, why are they in quotes? Because there aren't any victims, there was no crime, it's staged, it's fake, the gun wasn't real.
Alleged to have...
Or loaded, or probably both.
Paid Patel to participate in the scheme.
Yeah, that's what it said before. You're just waking up to this? Look at it. This is him just realizing what this is.
It's literally Bollywood.
It's not literally Bollywood. It would be figuratively Bollywood, you fucking tool.
Jesse Smollett.
No, Jesse Smollett was manipulating the racial animus of a situation to benefit himself, to get a higher salary on a television show. These people are trying to stay in the country illegally using limited tools that they have, and they cocked up a fucking scheme that, unfortunately, they only could stay in the country on the U visa as long as they cooperated with the police, which would eventually lead them to the fact that the crime was fake to start with, because they're dumbasses. That's why this doesn't work. That's why you're even reading about it.
And the store owners used their store for a staged robbery.
Because, yeah.
The organizer, the robber, the getaway driver. Incredible.
Balwinder Singh. See, it says Balwinder Singh. That's his name. You can read it right down. Balwinder Singh.
10 defendants are indicted today. Maybe they're arraigned. They need to all be deported. You need to be deported. Conspiracy to commit visa fraud, 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, $250,000 fine, and subject to deportation after sentences are imposed.
Yeah, they'll give them a fine, confiscate whatever property they have in the United States, and then they'll deport them.
Holy smokes, man. What a nightmare.
Boston Violent Crime Task Force has arrested 10 Indian nationals because they don't have a pretend violent crime task force. Is there I guess this would be an example of, did J.D. Vance make the bust himself?
This is crazy. Nationwide scam. Many local reports covered it.
Sorry, it happened there. These guys did it. They got arrested, mostly in Massachusetts. Nationwide?
Other prosecution. Scam culture is being imported at scale.
Well, look who's president.
Close the border, abolish every visa. If somebody...
Abolish every visa. Goodbye, Melania. You're an Einstein no more.
...is truly a genius, fine. Make them prove...
If someone is... Well, if someone's truly a genius, make them prove it. We're really going to start that? We're going to start with fucking Barron's mom?
of it. Response.
DEI, deport every Indian. Wasn't Benny just telling us how outraged he was because a statue was defaced because he's a Christian and he believes in tolerance?
DEI deport every Indian. Massive 10 Indian nationals
10
federally indicted for Jesse Smollett level crimes. Tyler Oliveira, somebody who we're a big fan of, had a exposed Indian fraud in Texas, in Frisco, Texas. And he was able to, in his expose, and you should follow him, he's excellent, uncover Indian H-1B visa fraud. Like, just by wandering around.
Wait till he goes to Chinatown.
Frisco, Texas, which is suddenly 20.
He turned 50 today. Happy birthday, Baltanos. Hold on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Baltanos. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. This is backlash against JD's wife, yeah.
Or over 30% Indian nationals from India.
As opposed to?
That claim, by the way, that India is their home country and they are just here in America for the paycheck. They literally claim this. Here we go.
Well, yeah.
And you work in IT?
Yeah, I work in IT.
Yeah.
I'm working with the Walmart here as a software engineer there.
Okay.
I'm into IT. I work for a company.
IT?
Yeah, yes.
I knew it.
And you had to work for IT?
IT. Why do they dominate IT?
Just dominate IT because they have a master's degree in computer science. They study back in India.
Okay.
And they complete engineering. And that's how they just dominate. I'm a student.
Student right now?
Yeah.
And you work in IT?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, are you F1 visa holder? Yeah. So as an F1 visa, how many hours can you work per week?
40 hours.
And is it legal to work full-time on an F1 visa?
Yes.
One of my favorite clips ever is us asking Brandon Gill.
Why wouldn't it be?
About this video. And his response is absolute blazing. Here we go.
It's going to be magic. I'm excited.
I know that you love the state of Texas.
Again, they came for the criminal aliens and they let a bunch of them stay as long as they're married to the president. Then they came for the undocumented, unemployed, welfare-seeking ones. And now they're coming after the genuinely employed who have earned their visa.
Greatly. There's a lot going on there. And while we could sit here and bang on and on and on, and it's righteously so about illegal immigration, there's been a lot to be made of legal immigration into
terrible
state of Texas.
In the state of Texas, of all places.
There's like a new mosque built every single day. There's documentaries like this from a
they're Hindu.
Big YouTuber, 10 million subscribers, Tyler Oliveira, where he goes to Frisco. That Frisco is like soon to be a majority Indian city based on H-1B visa. I'll call them scams because of
why they have jobs.
Of course, you can find Americans to do these jobs, but
I see. Well, that's an Elon Musk problem.
Been able to rig the system and been able to build effectively the biggest Hindu temple in the world. They're in Frisco, Texas, with like some of the biggest idols in the world. It's like it seems insane to me.
Why?
It seems suicidal for a culture and civilization. Since it's happening in your backyard, Congressman, I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, well, first of all, the Dignidad Act would expand legal immigration by about 50%. Legal immigration is already way too high and would flood our country with even more worker visas. So just to put that out there first.
Sorry, real quick. The Dignidad Act? Is a bipartisan immigration bill in Congress that combines tougher border and enforcement measures with new large-scale legal status programs for undocumented immigrants and dreamers. It's the Dignity for Immigrants while guarding our nation to ignite and deliver the American Dream Act. That's the Dignidad part. Or the Dignity Act, which sounds like Dignidad. It's first introduced by a Florida Republican, Maria Elvira Salazar, in 2023, reintroduced in 2025, gaining bipartisan sponsorship in the Republican-led House. It is not a law, it's a legislative proposal. For Republicans, it means more border security, infrastructure personnel, faster asylum screening at the border, tougher consequences for illegal entry, and mandatory nationwide e-verify. For Democrats, a realistic legal status option for most long-term undocumented immigrants, protections and citizenship path for dreamers, and more family unity tools, and some fixes to legal immigration backlogs. Mostly addressing kind of DACA and limited worker stuff. I don't know why there's something about participants. Let's see, dignity program coordinators, amnesty, but not citizenship. Eligibility is generally for undocumented immigrants who've been in the U.S. continuously since 2020 with background and good conduct requirements. And they enter a 7-year dignity program, a deferred action status with work and travel authorization, protection from deportation, and an obligation to pay about $7,000 in restitution. They must maintain employment, pay taxes, avoid certain public benefits, stay out of serious legal trouble to remain in good standing. They can apply for dignity status, a renewable 7-year legal status that can be renewed indefinitely if they stay in good standing. Dignity status allows legal presence and work, but deliberately offers no special path to U.S. citizenship framed as earned legality, but not a green card track for most. It increases some per country caps and involves tools to keep U.S. citizens' families together, including case-by-case waivers, decisions not to issue NTAs, or permission to reapply after removal where the spouse or child is a U.S. citizen. Includes protections for documented dreamers. Nationwide e-verify and worker measures, mandates restitution payments from dignity program participants into funds for American worker training and workforce development. So any money, the $7,000 that they have to pay, goes to American workers to take vocational training or go to school or whatever. That's where that money goes. As of early 2026, it's still a bill, not passed both chambers, or been signed, is one of the most sweeping bipartisan reform packages on the table, but it is controversial on both sides. Critics on the right call it large amnesty, which is where they're going. Some of the left object to the lack of citizenship path for most undocumented participants and to tougher border and asylum provisions.
But you're right. We've got communities like Frisco that have been totally transformed, whether it's Islamic immigration or
which it isn't.
Immigration from anywhere else in Asia. I don't want Muslim prayer call. I don't want to hear Muslim calls to prayer in my community. I do not.
Well, that's what noise ordinances are about.
I want the caste system socially in the schools that my kids are going to.
Well, it wouldn't be because none of the people that come here from India are in the lower castes. That's how they get these visas.
Because we've had so many people come to the United States who are not assimilating into American culture. I want to live in an America that's actually American. And if you go to some of these areas, you feel like you're in a foreign country.
Yeah, again, you ever been to Chinatown?
And that's a problem.
Why? Like, I mean, I think everybody should integrate and all that kind of stuff, but what the fuck? Why would that make me feel like... I mean, imagine how these assholes feel when they're in like El Paso or something in a store with like Mexican, goods being sold and Spanish, being spoken more than English.
America is for our people. We have a distinct heritage, a distinct culture that's rooted in historical experience in the United States.
I would avoid that because I don't think you're a good example of it. So you might want to tap that down. But what I would say is that we are a secular society that believes in religious pluralism. And if your argument is with them building the biggest Hindu temple in the world and basically creating a segregated part of town, then you should be anti-segregation. This should trigger you. But I think you might have a problem there because I think you might be kind of for segregation.
And that's something that we as conservatives should seek to actually conserve. And that
by being that as opposed to telling other people to?
That means not flooding our country with infinity immigration every single year, whether it's because of illegal immigration or legal immigration under the guise of, economic interest or anything else. And the reality is with H-1B, and I think I watched some of the clips that came out. This is a program that has an enormous amount of fraud. The idea that we would bring in a 7-Eleven worker from India or anywhere across the globe into our country to work at a gas station because we can't find Americans to work behind the counter at a gas station. I mean,
Yeah, that's not how that works at all. We're not importing gas station workers. These people are coming here, working and living, and then one of the ways that they've gotten ahead in society is that they've invested in convenience stores and gas stations because it was a great way to enter the American dream for them. So or Motel 6s, for example. Like the Indian community specifically was taking, they're going, one of the best ways I can be here and contribute and have a fucking job and all this stuff and bring over my family, they can work with me at the gas station, they can work with me at the store, or they can work with me at this hotel, which is exactly how like English and Irish and German settlers came over in the first place too. We're opening up a store. We're opening up a feed stall or a fucking horse barn in town, and we'll run that. Or a hotel or a casino.
That's asinine. I mean, it's idiotic.
Yeah, because it doesn't actually exist. That's not how it works.
And we all know it. So,
we know that you're asinine.
In my opinion, the H-1B program at this point should just be abolished outright. We don't need it. There's too much fraud in it. You've got all kinds of issues, particularly in areas like Frisco, where fake businesses are popping up and they're being used to bring more people in with these H-1B visas.
Well, then you deal with the fraud in the H-1B visa system, but you don't eliminate the program because people take advantage of it. You tighten the rules and you make it smarter. The reality is you just don't like any of these people, so you want the whole program gone because you're a bigot.
And then, by the way, you have chain migration, where once people come here, they start bringing their family and to an unlimited degree.
I agree. I think Melania's family should be sent back to...
Stuff has to end at some point, and I think that point is now.
Kumbaya. I'm sorry. I was just overwhelmed with the Christian energy of Benny's entire vibe, his show. It was just, you know what? Sometimes you just have too much tolerance. You know what I mean? It just, I can't handle it. It's just, I got a tolerance, acceptance, and love meter, and it's fucking pegged right now. Speaking of pegged, I'm sure Benny and that dude have a lot of issues amongst themselves that they need to work out. But, yeah, once again, racism masked as a policy dispute. Exactly. And by the way, their complaint in that is not with Democrats. You notice they've moved off the whole DACA thing. Their problems with H-1B visas. Well, guess who's 100% behind the H-1B visa system besides Donald Trump, who likes to hire foreign workers so that he can fire them anytime he fucking wants. Anytime they complain, you can just fire them. Their visa dries up and they have to go back to their country, so you can abuse them, overwork them, and they will keep their mouth shut for fear that visa can go away, right? Along with him, Larry Ellison's a big fan. Elon Musk is a huge fucking fan. Zuckerberg, giant fucking fan. So, again, this is the cream of the crop of the Republican talking point crowd. Benny Johnson, who can't fucking read and loves to couch, I guess, his racism and as much bigotry as he can drum up with whomever helps him. And we didn't even get into Jillian Michaels. Apparently she's not believing what Trump is selling. Crazy, huh? She doesn't. Trump's global plan could collapse before it even starts. How dare you? How dare you? He's playing 33.5D chess. As far as you know, lady. All right. I appreciate you guys. Again, no show tomorrow because I will be jamming, as it were. And I got to stop talking because my throat is tightening up. Just from, I went extra day, like 6 hours. So I got to rest. So appreciate you guys. And we will post videos from it and all that kind of stuff. Regular shows on Wednesday, of course. and Thursday, probably Friday as well, although I may do the Friday afternoon show earlier or not at all, because I got a stand-up show for our Patreons on Friday night. That's that. And then I'm going to do my radio show in the morning and then drive back and take care of my girl. So I'm trying to jam all my work into 1 week. And yeah, so wish me luck. Hit the like, share the show, comment on the videos if you're watching them later, and I will see you guys sooner than you think. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, there we go. The wars and rumors of wars. To Benny Johnson and all the faux Christians out there, suck it.
Crown like cold winter light, scroll in hand, silver seals, every word cuts and heals. Like drums, sword raised high, kingdoms come, peace unstitched by a single roar.
Everybody tell Liberal Dan we send our love.
Ways, bread and bone, steel stilled hard, iron stone, measure grain by a dying sun, silver short for everyone. Pale horse waits, eyes like ash, graves awake, tombs unlatch, Hades hangs on a trailing chain, every pulse spells your name. Wars and rumors of wars, spoken like a curse in the dark. Every headline, every scar's another cracked heart in the ark. Wars and rumors of wars, echo from the prophets and seers. When the Lamb breaks the seal, all the old world shakes with our fears. Seal opens. How long? How long? Blood at the altar.